Good afternoon, folks. Welcome to Marion, Indiana. Saints on the road here in this MSFA crossover game, taking on the 16th ranked Indiana Wesleyan Wildcats. St. Francis coming into the game 2-2 under 14th year head coach Joe Carey. Last week, David, dominating wing, 66-13 over a Madonna team that's struggling a bit this year. 66 points. You might be wondering where that ranks as far as how many points scored in a game in the 40-year history of St. Francis. Well, it's up there. And it's fourth most points in a game in school history. They also hit a season high in rushing yards with 321 yards on the ground, 94 of them in one run late in the game by Tyshawn Strong. But a great game. Get that under your belt. Work out some kids that maybe didn't get a chance to play a ton of minutes later on in that game as we prepare for one of the bigger games of the year here this afternoon.
Can we do that again today?
I sure hope so.
Yeah, no doubt it's going to be a tough challenge. Defensively, Indiana Wesleyan allows a lot of points and a lot of yards. They're averaging just over 28 points a game allowed and almost 400 yards of total defense. But at the same time, they're really scoring at a high clip. 12th in the nation, averaging 42.2 points per game, well over 500 yards of offense per contest. I think that ranks 5th or 6th in the nation, and they have a high caliber quarterback.
Yeah, Arjon Lothe is his name. He comes out of Greenwood, Indiana. He's a junior who didn't play much last year. I think he only appeared in one game last year, but in that one game last year, Dave, he set the program's single-season passing record in his one game as a backup. But now the offense is his, and he's continuing those gaudy numbers. This guy throws for over 300 yards a game, but that doesn't mean they can't rush the ball either, Dave. Their rushing numbers are just as good, with 170 yards per game on the ground, 13 rushing touchdowns, which is top 10 in the NAIA. They can kill you any kind of way, through the air or on the ground. It's going to be a tough task for this defensive unit for St. Francis, which is a little banged up as well.
Yeah, and there's really two keys today, Nick. Number one is control the ball. If you can get long drives going, that is great. And then the other thing, which we've talked about all season long, is you can't turn over the ball against a team like today.
You can't. Yep, 10 fumbles already this year for St. Francis. They've lost 8 of them. That trend has to stop here today if you want to contend with one of the best teams in the country. Last week for Indiana Wesleyan, it was an absolute shootout against Marion University. It was down at Marion, 52-42 the final score, and over 1,000 combined yards in that game. 568 yards from Indiana Wesleyan and 472 yards from Marion. Again, Lothe, who set the singles game passing record last year, reset that record again last week with 401 yards through the air. So like we mentioned, the defense and specifically the pass defense for St. Francis going to have to be on point with one of the most accurate passing quarterbacks in the country today.
And they also have to contend, St. Francis does, with one of the top return men in the game and kickoff return man, Drew Dutton. He's averaging over just under 50 yards a game, 46.8 to be exact. He returned 2 kickoffs against Judson for touchdowns, and he's number 1 in the nation. We all know about Carl Bew. Yep. He's number 5 in the nation. So you got 2 of the best kick returners in the nation, 2 of the highest scoring offenses in the nation, and let's hope the Saints can come out on top.
We're talking about that defense. This Indiana Wesleyan offense has run 100 more plays already. They do have one more game under their belt, but they do get out there and the offense stays on the field for a very long time. They're one of the nation's leaders in first downs as well. So the defense is always pretty well rested when they do come off the sideline.
And it's really interesting, you know, as much as they score that 42.4 points per game, in the first quarter they've been outscored 41-34. And then in the second quarter, they've outscored their opponents 86-30. So they've really cranked it up in the second quarter.
And I think it's without their number 1 running back to start the season. His name was Ryan Whitwell. He's a junior running back, local guy out of our area, out of Batavia. He ran for 100 yards in their loss to Kaiser, but hasn't played since. They have filled that gap with Cameron Morrison, a sophomore from just down the road in Indianapolis. He's done his job, 78 yards per game, a couple couple of touchdowns on the ground as well. So it's one of those things that when somebody for Indiana Wesleyan goes down, not only is it next man up, but that next man is always a very talented individual as well.
Yeah, and then through the air, the main threat for Lothie, or the main receiver, I should say, main target, is Isaac Smith. He has 38 receptions for 425 yards, and the 38 grabs rank third in the nation.
They have weapons all over the field, no doubt about that. Defensively, Anthony Cheeseborough is going to be one of their guys. He's one of their defensive captains out of Carmel, Indiana. He was an all-conference player last year. He has 4 tackles for a loss, which is number 1 for the team so far this season. Coin flip happening at midfield here at Wildcat Stadium. It'll be St. Francis getting the football first. So we will see Nate Mall and that St. Francis offense. Well, we're going to test that theory right off the bat. Can they control the ball? Can they move the ball down the field and keep that high potent Wildcat offense on the sidelines? That's going to be a key. Hold on to the football and convert on third down, something that St. Francis has been pretty good at so far this season. 18 for 52, 7 for 10 on fourth downs as well.
And it's a very warm day again. I was down on the field a little bit ago. You just going from the locker room, which is air conditioned, down to the field, you can feel the difference. It's 80%, so that could be a concern as well. You don't want to keep that defense on the field too long.
Absolutely spectacular day here at one of the NAIA's premier facilities as well. This program not quite a decade old, I believe, and they sure did invest in it. They have suites on one side to our right of the end zone, a beautiful press box. The stands are comfortable, lots of activity around the stadium, so it's really a fun place to be here on an NAIA Saturday afternoon. We have some high fives to his special teams teammates, and he will be the single deep man to return the opening kick for St. Francis, which should come off the right foot of Josh Clifton, the junior out of Bradley Bourbonnais.
This is the final crossover game. The Saints, this is the 5th game of the season. Saints 2-2. And as Nick mentioned, Indiana Wesleyan 3-2 with the losses to ranked foes in Kaiser, ranked number 2 in the nation, and Marion, which has jumped up to number 14 in the nation after the big victory 1 week ago. And Saints will have next week off before Midwest League play begins 2 weeks from today. Saints home against St. Xavier.
St. Francis in their traveling white on whites today. White helmet with the Bernie outline on the side, brown numbers, gold trim. Indiana Wesleyan, the red jerseys, white pants, and dark gray helmets. Kickoff is away. Carl Bew will start from the 5, and he bobbles it but picks it up at the 6-yard line, looking for a bit of a crease. Still going at the 20. He's got some room left side. It's a foot race to the St. Francis bench. He'll be forced out of bounds near midfield. A bit of a bobble to start things off, but a great return from one of the best in the business out to midfield from Carl Bew. And here comes Nate Mall and this St. Francis offense. Nate over 54%, 874 yards through the air, 9 touchdowns to just 3 interceptions. He has been sacked a number of times, so the offensive line is going to have to protect if they're going to want to keep moving this football down the field.
38-yard return, and that's a little bit above Carl's average on the season, and that's a good thing. Keep him in the top 10 in that kickoff return department.
Gavin Day will start at running back, and he will have Jake Friddle to the right of Nate Mall. They're going to have to hurry. You're already 10 on the play clock. Here we go. Friddle motions out of the backfield to the left side. Snap back to Nate. Quick pass left side. It's caught in a first down and some more out to the Indiana Wesleyan 40 for a 13-yard pickup and first down into IWU territory. That one to Ryan Little for the first down.
Little, one of the top receivers for the Saints this season, had 6 catches a week ago, and that's been his numbers all year long.
What a test for young quarterback Nate Mall here, only a few games into his college career, going up against one of the best in the business on the road. First running play, it's Stringham through the B gap, and he'll pick up about 3. Second down coming up. First carry goes to Larry Stringham, and you said you had a chance to meet him in person without all the pads on, right? What does he look like?
Yeah, I mean, a lot bigger than what he looks like on the field, and obviously we're farther away today even than Joliet Memorial Stadium. But I mean, his upper body he is strong.
Stringham will be the tailback behind Maul in the pistol. Friddle will motion from tight end left to the right. He's going to roll right. Blitz coming. Picked up nice by Stringham. Pass is complete out to the 30. Keep fighting to the 25-yard line, and it's another first down for USF. Exactly what you'd hope for here to start the game. That one, first catch out to Mason Hackman, the junior from Culver Stockton. Transfer.
And again, that play was set up by Stringham's block that time. I don't know if it was the defensive end or one of the linebackers from the outside coming to the outside. Stringham took him outside. Maul read it, cut inside, and then found his receiver for the 11-yard pickup and another St. Francis first down.
Hackman motions from right to left. They're in the zone defense. They give to Stringham. Straight ahead goes Larry. He'll pick up 2 on first down out to the 23-yard line. Second down and 7 coming up for USF. And for the first time, Carl Bew will come on offensively for St. Francis. Carl Bew just doing it all out there this year. 25 carries, 6 receptions, a bunch of kickoff returns, 1 for a touchdown. He really plays all over the offense. And he'll be split out wide right here. Tight man coverage on him. The coverage on Hackman is soft. Give to Stringham. Bounces right, cuts it back up, and we're going to get our first flag as this carry goes for about 6, but likely going to be coming back.
Yeah, I believe it's going to be on Isaac Pula for the Saints. Holding, yep.
You did see that. Pula, the freshman out of Compton, California, takes a nice run by Larry Stringham and going to march 10 yards backwards. So the 10-yard penalty, but effectively a 16-yard penalty if you count the end of the run.
Yeah, those are things that, again, you don't want to have wreck a solid drive already, and sometimes that's what happens, especially when you get a 10-yard penalty and it's not first down. Now you've got second down following the 3-yard carry on the play before, so almost a passing situation for the Saints here.
Friddle will motion again to the tight end left. 2 wide receivers on that side, ball middle of the field. Nate hurries to hurry, escapes the pocket, still looking downfield. Now he's going to tuck it and just try to get what he can before he's pushed out of bounds at the 27-yard line, out near the original line of scrimmage. They're still going to be 3rd and long here, though. 3rd and 12 coming up for St. Francis. Penalties are drive killers, man.
That they are. Saints on the season on 3rd down, 18 out of 52, just under 35%. And this one's a long one. It'll be 3rd and 12.
Hackman wide right. You got 3 receivers left. First time we're going to see Connor Engstrom. He's in the slot left. Stringham behind Maul in the pistol. He's going to have to protect. They're going to bring some extra guys on the blitz. And picked up very well. Clean pocket for Nate. Throwing one-on-one into the end zone. Caught, touchdown. Touchdown goes to Hackman. It is a 28-yard touchdown to Hackman. The cornerback that was guarding Hackman fell down, but so did Hackman, and he caught it on his knees. A perfect throw from Nate. St. Francis on top, 6-zip.
And really good job by Nathan Maul that time. 3 wide receivers split to the left side. They were doing a crossing pattern inside. Nobody there that was wide open. So Maul looks to the right side for Hackman, and he gets into the end zone for the touchdown. Like you said, he caught it on his knees.
They lined up for the swinging gate extra point, but didn't like what they saw, so they're going to reset for the traditional point after kick from Adrian Guerrero. Your reigning special teams player of the week puts his first extra point through, and it is good. It is 7-0 Saints after a first drive that you dream of against the number 16 team in the country.
Yeah, 4th time in 5 games now the Saints have scored first against their opposition. And this drive covers 57 yards in just under 4 minutes.
6 plays, 57 yards goes the drive for St. Francis. And now we're going to see Arjun Lothi and his high-powered Indiana Wesleyan offense. I'm very anxious to see how St. Francis is going to cover this type of offense, being the high-powered passing attack that it is. St. Francis known for that 3-3 stack defense, which can be a bit soft in the middle of that zone. We've seen a lot of passes complete kind of between the linebackers and safeties. We're going to see if they come out and try to just do what they do, or if they try to adjust a bit when they know they go up against the air raid attack that can be Indiana Wesleyan.
Well, I'll tell you what, the one nice thing you see, I think that might be Hackman's first touchdown, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it is.
Yep.
6th catch, first touchdown.
But if you look at all the receivers that the Saints have used this year, Little, Friddle, Engstrom, Bew, Hackman, Day a little bit out of the backfield. We saw Sorensen last week. It's not that one receiver anymore, or
nope.
the 2 receivers, Ryan Little and Joey Tumulty. Nathan Mall really does a great job of finding his open man, and there isn't that go-to guy, and that's a good thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a lot harder to defend when you have one guy you can't really key on in the passing game defensively, for sure.
Got a little TV timeouts going on with this ESPN2 broadcast, or 3 or whatever it's called.
Yeah, we were talking about that coming up. It's a really cool area to have an NAIA team in. They take it seriously. The fans get involved. There's local radio here, ESPN3's here. Just a great vibe around the IWU program. And, I mean, that's what happens when you go out there and all you do is win, win, win no matter what. 11:21 left to go first quarter. St. Francis on top. Opening drive touchdown to Mason Hackman. First one of the season for him.
And Andrew Rode, the head coach here for Indiana Wesleyan, has never lost more than 2 games in any of his previous 2 seasons.
Yeah, he's 3-2 this year, again, with losses to Kaiser, one of the top 5 teams in the country, and then Marian University last week. Here's the kickoff from Guerrero. Angled a bit left. Return will start for Wesleyan from the 8-yard line. Between the numbers and the hash marks, ridden down around the 30-yard line. Another nice return from them. They always have pretty good starting field position, as their kickoff return numbers show you. They have one of the top 5 kickoff return guys in the country, averaging close to 40, maybe more than 40 yards per return, which is pretty incredible.
And obviously that's been helped by a couple, 80, 90-yard returns against Judson. But
a couple
still,
touchdowns, yeah.
Like you said, 28-yard return that time, and Indiana Wesleyan starts it. Their first possession, 11:15 left to play first quarter. Saints on top 7-0 on their opening drive. A 28-yard pass from Mall to Heckman for the score.
Tight end Simon Vincent motions left. They got 4 wide receivers going out in stride, and they will go for a long pass. And they dropped it. It was a sure touchdown. A perfectly designed play. Got the wide receiver wide left, wide open, streaking down the sideline, and he just dropped it. It was number 82, Grant Irwin, who dropped a sure 70-yard touchdown.
And he got tripped up, too.
Just
so
that easy.
That avoided. He still should have had the reception.
Second down play. They're going to keep it on the ground this time, right up the gut to the 40-yard line, close to a first down. I think it's going to be a bit short. We'll call it 3rd down and a half a yard for Indiana Wesleyan. They got some big boys up front who are doing the job. Offensive line haven't allowed a sack all year, which might be the most insane stat on their stat sheet. Here's the snap back to Lothe. Keep it on the ground again. See helicopters around the 40-yard line, and it's just enough for the first down. He needed 2 feet and got 2 feet, and he sure paid for it at the end of that play.
Yeah, on the tackle that time for the Saints was Alan Richards coming in from his linebacker spot. They pick up the first down on 3rd down.
Another pass play. Swing it out left into the flat. Nice blocking by the wide receivers, and 7 yards make it 8 yards on the first down play out to the 48-yard line.
You look at some of the numbers for Indiana Wesleyan, they rank first in the nation in rushes. They're like top 1 or 2 in passes and completions, and that's because they get to the line of the scrimmage and they run the ball. You will not see a delay of game from Indiana Wesleyan.
Nope, on the ground again here on 2nd and 2 out to the 50, and that is enough for the first down. So they're moving the sticks with ease to start their first drive of the game.
And that was the other thing. I talked to Tom Miller before the game. I said, how do you get the first sack against at Indiana Wesleyan today, and he said, what makes it so difficult is the quarterback, as soon as he gets it, he's throwing it.
He's dropped deep. He's hit as he's thrown down the middle of the field, and it is a dime and a big hit inside the 20, but he held on that time. Isaac Smith, you saw the big playability. Another big chunk play for the Wildcats. Both the quarterback and receiver took big hits, but they converted. It's going to be first down and 10 at the 16-yard line of St. Francis. Quick to the line. Another screen pass out to the wide receiver. They have the numbers up the right sideline, out of bounds at the 8. If it's not a first down, it's close. Yeah, they do love to try to get that defense sleeping a bit, don't they? They hustle to the line and snap that ball quickly.
34-yard pass play on the previous play and 9 yards on this screen pass to the right side.
Snap back to Lothe. They play action to Morrison into the end zone, but it's tipped away. It's a nice play by St. Francis. Mike Hackman, the freshman DB, knocked it away. Second down and 1.
And Hackman, one of the top defenders in the nation, has 4 interceptions on the season. That ranks second in the nation, tied for second. The only one that has more has 5 interceptions. Hackman had a pair last week and one each in his first 2 games.
Here's Morrison on third down. He's going to pick it up. He's going to race for the end zone and a touchdown. Opening drive TD for the Wildcats as well. He outran Bannis to the goal line. 7-6 with an extra point coming up for the Wildcats.
That was quick, huh?
Yeah, sure is. Josh Clifton will come back on to kick the extra point. Clifton 24 for 26, already 26 extra points he's kicked. The kicker for Indiana Wesleyan, always a very busy position. Snap is a bit low. Flag comes in. It might have been, no, it's not a delay of game. What happened there?
I
think the snapper actually moved the ball. I think a little hitch in the snap. So they're going to just retry 5 yards further, so essentially it will be a 25-yard extra point attempt.
9 plays, 70 yards on the drive, Nick. It took just 2 minutes and 32 seconds.
They are fast. The snap, good that time, holds down, kicks on the way, looks good from here. And it is. We're tied at 7. 8:43 left to go. First quarter, Saints and Indiana Wesleyan.
Yeah, they don't mess around offensively, that's for sure.
Lothe went 3 for 5 on the drive, passing for 52 yards. They ran it 4 times for 18 yards and that 9-yard touchdown. And not only are they quick, but they're balanced. 5 passes, 4 runs.
Yep.
Quite the challenge for Coach Curry and that defense.
Yeah, and especially with a couple men out. As you know, Nick Mabutis from the beginning of the season, that was a major loss. Obviously, Hackman has come in and done a great job there, although Mabutis was playing more the cornerback spot a little bit. And Trey Sayers out for the season with a knee injury. C.J. Reeves out this week. And a couple other Saints as well.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for Trey because ever since he's come in a few years ago, he's been really battling injuries. When he's been healthy, he's been outstanding in the secondary, but you just can't shake the injury bug. So far, Nate Mall for St. Francis on their first drive, a perfect 3 for 3 through the air. Hope I don't jinx it. Stringham on the ground carried it a couple of times as well. So they're trying to be balanced too. Stringham, saw some success on the ground. I kind of liked how that first drive looked.
Yeah, actually, he did have some nice room. Even though there was a holding on the one, he got some good yardage on that play too. And like we said, this Indiana Wesleyan defense is susceptible. Mm-hmm. They've allowed almost 400 yards per game, so you just have to take advantage of that.
Going to be a long game here with the TV because they are always going to hold things up. It's usually the time between touchdown, extra point, and then kickoff is not that long. But waiting for the big 4 letters to get their commercials in.
That's it.
Carl Bew back to return this kickoff eventually. He's standing at his own 9-yard line.
Had a nice return the first time for 38 yards. And actually, he had the same type of move as he did for his 100-yard return. Starts from that right side as you're looking at the field, and then cuts back over to the left, which would be the St. Francis sideline today.
And he's looking right into the sun as well. So this one is going to, that's probably over his head. Oh, he's going to sail back into the end zone and try to return it. Here comes Carl. Not a great starting position, but he's trying to find a seam, and he brings it out near the 20. They're going to mark it at the 19-yard line. 20-yard return out of the end zone. Yeah, that's going to be tough. Just which the direction that the field is orientated, the sun directly in Carl Bew's eyes trying to return, which is good for the receivers, I suppose, if you're going that direction, because they're going to turn and look into the shade, but it could be tough on the return game.
Yeah, field runs north and south, similar to Joliet Memorial Stadium, but as we know, as we get later in the season, especially in the fall here, beginning of October, that sun starts to not be straight up and down, but more on an angled, and that would be in the south end zone this afternoon.
First down for Nate Mall. Hand off to Stringham, trying to run inside.
Might have been Gavin.
Not quite. Oh, was it Gavin?
Day this time?
Oh,
yep.
You're right. Thank you, Gavin Day. Nate Mall's going to go on to the game here on this play. Looks like they're going to run a little wildcat here. Yeah, Johnny Sorensen, a dangerous runner. We'll see if Indiana Wesleyan did their scouting here on number 8, because Sorensen hasn't thrown a pass, even though he has played some quarterback. It's all been running plays. Here's Carl Bew motioning in the jet motion. They give it to Carl, trying to turn the corner. Wrapped up and bent over around the 24-yard line, so not much on the end around. Just a bit of a different look there. Johnny Sorensen's going to run back off here on 3rd down and 5.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to watch this afternoon. Again, if it's 3rd and short, does Johnny Sorensen stay in the game? But now because it's 3rd and about 6 or 7, is it more of a passing down? So we'll have to monitor that throughout the afternoon here.
Linebackers come up to the line of scrimmage. Looks like they might bring a few extra. They do. Blitz is on. Nate's going to have to hurry. Gets it to the outside. And I think they were trying to get it to Jake Friddle, but it was nearly intercepted. It's going to bring up 4th down and 3 and out for St. Francis. And that's the trend that cannot continue.
Yeah, and that time it looked like it was a timing pattern, and Jake Friddle got tied up a little bit with the defensive end that was covering him. And he hadn't even turned when Maul threw the pass to him. So it'll be 4th down for the Saints. And Adrian Guerrero on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Midway through the first quarter, Saints and Indiana Wesleyan tied at 7.
Return man for IW at the 39. Beautiful kick by Guerrero is going to send him way back, all the way to the 24. Return is on, though. He's got a little space to operate right down the middle of the field between the hash marks. Return will be up to the 48-yard line. It's a nice return by Leo Morrow, the sophomore return man.
Very nice return for Morrow, and he also ranks among the leaders nationally, number 11 with a 13.8 average. And that time he returned it probably about 24 yards.
It was a great kick by Guerrero, sent him deep, but the deeper you kick it like that, unless you get some crazy hang time, that also gives the return man some time to set up a return. And they're going to mark it at the 47. So here's Arjun Lothe. Again, 2 wide receivers on each side. Running back will motion to his left hip. Ball right in the middle of the field at the 47-yard line. Snap back, play action, quick throw, strike, and 1st down, 14 yards. It's just surgical. It is surgical. The receiver makes the cut. The ball is there just waiting for him when he turns around. It's so impressive.
You're exactly right. And it's I would say a mid-range passing game.
Yeah.
It's not a short game passing range. That one was for 14 yards.
Here's Lothe again to throw. This one incomplete. They're a bit off page on that one. He was looking for, I believe that was Drew Dutton, maybe? Nope, number 12, pardon me. Simon Vincent, the tight end. That's what it looks like when they're not on the same page, and it could be dangerous for Indiana Wesleyan. If they aren't synced up perfectly, it could be dangerous.
Yeah, I think they've had 4 or 7 interceptions.
5 interceptions for Lothay. Here it is on the ground. Morrison's going to take it to the house. It's going to go 39 yards on the ground for Indiana Wesleyan. 2 possessions and 2 touchdowns. 13-7, 6.5 to go.
That time everything seemed to be pushed to the right side, Nick, and they run it off left guard and wide open. There was one Saint to beat, and he got by him. Got by Sabian Wilder.
Clifton is on to kick the point after. Snap's good. Holds down. Kick is up and through into
really
into the
out of the stadium.
Yeah, kicked it into the square here, just to the just out of the end zone, and then through the entry gates onto the street. So it's 14-7, and so we're starting to get a taste of why this team was ranked in the top 5 last couple of weeks. I know they lost to a great Indiana Wesleyan team who's just as potent offensively. But you're seeing they can do it both through the air and on the ground.
Nick, 3 plays, 53 yards, took just 37 seconds. That's, again, the reason why St. Francis offensively really has to control the ball. We've seen them drive. We've seen a 19-play drive earlier this year. We've seen some 10 and 12-play drives, and that's what you need to do against Indiana Wesleyan, is to keep their offense off the field.
Full boat of crossover games, and they're all taking place at Mideast schools today. Judson's out at Siena Heights. You got St. Francis, Indiana, just down the road from here at Taylor in Upland, Indiana. St. Xavier is out in Ohio taking on Defiance, and then Marion against Madonna up in Michigan today. So the Mideast hosting the Midwest today, all across our area.
The Taylor-St. Francis, Indiana matchup, probably the best of that group.
I would say so, yeah. We'll have to keep an eye on that as our afternoon goes by. Still waiting on ESPN here.
Saints will be off this coming week, and then they start the Midwest League action next week against St. Xavier, and that's always been a big matchup. The Saints and the Cougars, 3 of the last 4 years, Nick, you know it well, overtime.
Yep.
And probably like 9 of the last 12 have been decided by a touchdown or less.
Yep, always a fun one. You know St. Xavier's going to want a bit of revenge after last year, no doubt about that. All right, looks like we're about ready to get it going. You know, not such a bad idea, though, for the St. Francis offensive defense. Kind of gives the teams a built-in breathers there, too.
Yeah, especially on a warm day like it is today.
Carl Bew standing at the goal line ready to receive the kickoff. There's Clifton's kickoff. It is going to be right at Carl, looking up into the sun, but it's going to be 7 yards deep in the end zone and go out the back for a touchback. Clifton has got a big leg. He's already banged in a few field goals of 30, 31, 33, missed a 32-yarder. So he's 3 for 4 on the year.
Yeah, the first one of the 3 that he's kicked so far is the only one that did not go in the end zone, and that's the one that Carl Bew got the 35-yard return on.
And Carl Bew is going to be out there again. Looks like Abu Bakar Berry now the tailback. First down for St. Francis at the 25. It's their 3rd opportunity with the football. Bew, jet motion right to left. It goes to Berry. Another inside run. I guess Coach McCarthy had an inkling of what he might like to see his offense do here, because we're seeing a lot of between the tackles running here.
Yeah, and we saw some success that time, just 2 yards on that play, and we've seen 3 different guys carry the ball in the middle. You saw Barry, you saw Gavin Day, and you saw Larry Stringham. Barry back there now, I believe. Yep.
2nd down and 8 after a 2-yard inside carry. Here's Mull to throw. They're going to rush 4 through the air, but it's batted down at the line. Something you're going to see a little bit from time to time with Nate Mull at quarterback, being just 5'10". hard to get it over some of those defensive linemen when they're, 6 foot, 6'2", 6'5" in the case of Anthony Cheeseborough. They got some big boys up front, and when they put their hands up, it's tough for a short quarterback to throw it over the middle like that. So 3rd down and 8 coming up for St. Francis, and you hate to think like big 3rd down, right, in the first quarter, but it really is. You got to stay on the field.
They're going
to bring 4. Nate Mall escapes. He's got room if he wants to run it. He will, and he will pick up the first down. Wrapped up at the 38-yard line. He needed 8, and he got 11. First down for St. Francis. And the defense, a big sigh of relief on the other side of the field.
And that's one of the good things, as Nathan Mall develops in his first season as the starting quarterback, just seems like today, we've seen this a couple times, he looks more comfortable in seeing that he does have some running room.
Barry still trying to find a little bit of space between the tackles. No gain on that first down play. And that might come back to bite him. If they can't find a way to produce yards on first down, it could be a long day.
You're exactly right. And we haven't seen Indiana Wesleyan with too much pressure throughout the season. I think they have 12 sacks on the year, but they've allowed a lot of yards, and they seem to just play, the passing game rather than going for the gauntlet there.
Nate Mall moving, throwing, and incomplete. It would have been a great catch by Connor Engstrom, but he was covered extremely tightly by Devin Aravalo, the senior safety, coming up to knock it away. So 3rd down and 10. For St. Francis, 2nd consecutive 3rd down opportunity for USF.
And we're seeing about 6 or 7 different guys in the lineup for Indiana Wesleyan now on this 3rd down play. 3rd and 10, so definitely a passing situation. And that's the defense that Indiana Wesleyan is bringing in on this particular play.
5 guys on the line of scrimmage for Indiana Wesleyan. Let's see if they bring them here on 3rd and 10. And a timeout called by Coach Curry, and he's not too happy right now, kind of eyeing up his quarterback there, burning a timeout. With 4:46 to go, it's St. Francis trailing by a touchdown here in the first quarter in Marion, Indiana.
A lot of action today in Saints Land.
Oh, yeah.
We've got men's cross country and women's cross country running right now, actually, this morning at the Mount Mercy Stampede. Over in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Bowling is up in Michigan for the 2nd straight weekend. Both the men's and women's teams headed up by Tony Talley. Over at Joliet Memorial Stadium this afternoon, we've got a doubleheader of soccer. The St. Francis women's team battling for that first place spot in the CCAC. They host Mount Mary this afternoon. That's at 1 o'clock. Followed by the men's team facing Governor State, the defending CCAC champs, at 3:30. We've also got some tennis going on, a tournament over at Prairie State, and volleyball is at Trinity Christian this afternoon for a pair of games.
Folks, he did that all from memory. Just so you know, he did not read that. If you do want to read that, though, you can go to GoFightingSaints.com. All the schedules and results and stories are up there. But why go to the website when you got the entire database sitting to my right?
Well, you check it out at the beginning of the week. Make sure we got all the transportation correct and who's going where, who's working where, and it all comes together on Saturday falls.
Everybody do your job, right?
Yeah. It actually makes you laugh. Like when you have a weekend like this where there's so many activities, and it was only, 4 years ago? To think that we had all teams playing in the spring after COVID.
Yeah, everybody, yeah.
We had football games in February and March and April, and then, soccer, and to condense all that and play pretty much full seasons for all those teams, I still don't know how we did it.
Goes for a lot of people, I think, share that sentiment. Here we go, 3rd down and 10 for St. Francis out of the St. Francis timeout. It's a big play. Every 3rd down is going to be huge for the brown and gold today. Snap back to Mall. It's going to be a pass play. It's going to be a screen pass, but it hit one of the offensive linemen in the helmet. They were trying to get Jake Friddle on a middle screen, and I think if they would have completed that pass, they had a pretty good chance at Friddle running for that first down, judging by the space he had in front of him, just could not connect.
You're right. They went with a 5-man rush that time, usually a 4-man rush, had a 5-man rush, and did have 3 offensive linemen right in front of Friddle. But for the second time this afternoon, Friddle and Maul just not timing it up just right. And maybe that was Maul had a little bit more pressure on him too.
Lee Morrow standing at his own 20, snap back to Guerrero. Nobody's going to try to block it, so hey, he's going to try to run it. Guerrero, 45, 50, first down. I don't think that was a called fake, but nobody came to try to block the punt. Everyone went back to return, and Guerrero looked around and said, hey, there's no red shirts here. Unless that was a scouting thing that they said, hey, Adrian, if you see that nobody's coming, just go. And he did. He picked up 12 yards and a first down. How about that?
Yeah, there was just one man there who was actually guarding the wide receiver that time, the gunner, as they call it. And he had some room, knew exactly where he had to get, and actually picked up an extra 4 yards. So 14-yard pickup. And St. Francis in Indiana Wesleyan territory now at the Indiana Wesleyan 48. Yeah, false start there for the Saints.
Another false start penalty. Come on now. Can't have it today.
Not sure if it was Pula. Yeah.
That's Matt Alston that time. All-conference second-teamer a year ago.
Yeah, they were running that play to the left side, and Alston was to push over that way and just got a little bit of a head start that time, but the officials saw it, the umpire there. Just under 4 minutes left to play first quarter. Indiana Wesleyan on top, 14-7.
First and 15 for Maul. Quick pass to Little, had to go up and get it, and he does. It's a great catch by Little to pick up the penalty yardage plus more. That's about a 9-yard pickup to bring up second down and 6.
Well, I hope there's more, but at least once a game, Ryan Little always makes an acrobatic catch, and he was extended as far as he could be on that play and made a great catch for a 9-yard pickup.
Sometimes he pays the price for that when the safety comes in and hits him. But here comes the blitz again. Low snap picked up by Nate. And it's picked off. That's going to go for a pick 6. Tried to get it out to Engstrom, but the return is going to go for a touchdown. Darren Aravalo, his 3rd interception, will be about
58
yards. Yeah.
And he read it perfectly. It was one-on-one right side. Nathan Maul looking for Connor Engstrom. Engstrom by himself on the near sideline here. And the defender just got in front of him and clear daylight. And already in this first quarter, Indiana Wesleyan with 3 touchdowns, Nick.
And one coming from their defense. I'll tell you, their offense doesn't need help putting points on the board. Clifton on for his 3rd extra point already of the quarter. 3:05 to go. It's 20-7 Indiana Wesleyan. There's the snap. Holds good, kicks up, and make it 21. 21-7. Wildcats on top here in Marion, Indiana. They thought that St. Francis had something going. A 4th down fake punt conversion leads to an interception from Nate Maul. His 4th interception thrown this season.
And that's what Adrian Guerrero, a little bit heavier set, but again, he is a very athletic kid. We saw him last week. I don't know, the defense was down a little bit in terms of injury, and Adrian, towards the end of the game, stepped up and played on the defensive line like one of the last 2 series. And here he has the 14-yard run for the Saints to get him first down into Indiana Wesleyan territory before the 58-yard unfortunate interception return for a score.
I did not know that about Adrian. I've seen him cover his kicks. I've seen him go down and make special teams tackles.
You're right. Yeah, that too.
I've seen him pick up his own onside kick last week.
Yep.
But I did not see him play on the offensive line. I did not notice that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's fun to watch when he gets out there. He's more than just a kicker, that's for sure. I think a lot of kickers that St. Francis had would probably fit that mold of athletic, tough kids who can tackle and do those things necessary to give yourself an extra special teamer out there.
For sure. And now the Saints you don't have to stay. Again, it's 21-7. It's still early. Still the first quarter, 3:05 left to play. But again, you have to stay on the field, maintain the possession, because as we see, actually 2 offensive series, 2 touchdowns, and now this one on the defensive side, and has led to the 14-point difference, Nick.
Yeah, if you're going to throw that pass that he threw for the interception, that out route that Engstrom ran, and you're going to throw it toward the sideline, it has to be such a hard pass. You have to get a little mustard behind it. We've seen the arm strength from Arjun Lothe already today. That guy has a lot of speed on those fastballs when he lets it cook there. But Nate Mall, the arm strength not quite up to that level. And if you're going to throw that pass, he's either got to be wide open or you got to put some zip on it. You can't give that safety or the cornerback that much time to make a break on the ball. Here we go, 21-7, 3:05. Short kick, and Carl Bue's going to come up and return it from the 6-yard line. Trying to get back to the hash marks, cuts it back up. He's still on his feet, racing for the sideline before he's just tripped up at about the 26. And he's a bit slow to get up here, too. We need Carl. Oh, he's not even putting any weight on that right foot. I think he tweaked that ankle a little bit, and we'll see. Hopefully that's not too serious.
19-yard return that time for Carl Bue.
And just one guy. It was the last guy to really come in there and make a play, because if he didn't make the tackle, Carl could have been running still. All right, another chance for Nate Mall in this offense to stay on the field. Stringham is the tailback in the pistol. 2 wide receivers right and 2 tight ends. They're going to try to run it. Stringham again between the tackles. That's nicely done, out to the 31, maybe 32. So, yeah, you'll take that. Take 5-6 yards on first down. And if you can be that successful running between the tackles, perfect.
Yep.
Because that's going to keep your offense on the field and keep Lothe and that offense for Indiana Wesleyan off the field. And, hey, 5 yards, you'll get a first down after a couple plays. So I think they keep running off the right side of that offensive line, too. I think they like that side. But it's Gavin Day back in. Nope, at running back. Stringham again. Yep. Look at him kind of tightrope walk through into the second level and a first down with 15 yards or so to move the sticks.
Yeah, 12-yard pickup that time for Stringham. And the one thing that he really does a good job, even though it's bottled up in that interior line, he always seems to find a gap, doesn't he?
He does. And that one, he kind of turned his body to the side to sneak through the line. Nice run by Larry. First down to the 44-yard line. He's back there behind Nate again. Again, it goes to Stringham, puts those shoulders down, and the pile continues to move. That's 3 yards on first down there.
Yeah, I mean, and look at that one. He was stopped right at the line of scrimmage and just barreled his way up. Like I said, he's got those broad shoulders, big man up top, and if you're going to try to tackle him up top, that's not going to work. Mm-hmm. You got to get down low. You got to get to his legs to stop him from moving forward. So Another nice first down play. 5 yards on the first down. The last time, 3 yards on this pickup.
10 on the play clock here from Mall. They're set up. 2 wide receivers right, 1 left. Friddle, the tight end, left. Snap back to Nate. They're going to try to throw pump fake. Now they're going to try to go long, but it was covered perfectly downfield. Coverage sack on Nate Mall. They had that one lined up perfectly. They tried to do a double move with Hackman on the right sideline, but the cornerback did not bite. The safety was over the top, and there was nowhere for Nate to throw that ball. That was just well defended.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he, like you said, I think he was looking for Hackman, but Engstrom was there as well. And it looked like Nathan just might have been a little bit nervous after throwing the interception on the previous drive, and that's what led to the sack. So it'll be 3rd and 9 now here for the Saints.
Under the 35 seconds to go in the first quarter, and we're going to stop it. Timeout by Indiana Wesleyan, trying to preserve that side of the field, maybe. 32 seconds to go. I just think
it may have been a little bit mix-up on the defense.
They're going to take a timeout there with 32.7 to go. It's 21-7. Wildcats on top of the Saints. Really great homecoming last week. So it was great seeing the stands packed, everyone enjoying the homecoming festivities. Great job by the school organizing everything. It was great to talk to Ryan Hendrickson, the new president of the University of St. Francis. Welcome to him and his family to Joliet. Great homecoming. That was a lot of fun last week.
For sure. Had some really nice weather.
The wind didn't hurt. Madonna is back at home, our opponent last week hosting Marion, so we beat them 66-13. They're going to have a tough time with the Knights today.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Saints 32.7 seconds left here in the first quarter on a Indiana Wesleyan timeout, and the Saints facing a 3rd and 9 situation, and 2 for 4 on 3rd down. And we just saw moments ago they converted their only 4th down, and that was a 14-yard run on a fake punt by Adrian Guerrero.
Kind of would have liked to see them keep running the ball. They had 2 successful carries from Stringham. They tried to, I think, play action. Didn't quite work. Here's 3rd down and 9 now to Nate. Definitely a passing play. Blitz picked up. One-on-one in the sideline.
Nice.
Did he get it in bounds, though?
Out of bounds? No.
An incredible catch by Ryan Little. Oh, they say it was in bounds.
Yes.
Oh, my
Yes.
God, what a catch. Down to the Indiana Wesleyan 25. It was Ryan Little one-on-one, and he just beat the cornerback, Davion Turner, to the football.
You know, we talked about him being acrobatic. This is already play number 2. 2 catches, 2 acrobatic catches, and that is going to end up.
And our first, 10 seconds.
What are they going to say here?
I think it was 10 Oh, yeah, the clock should have remained running.
I was gonna say, right.
I guess they thought he was out of bounds, so they stopped the clock, but not on that play. So they're going to run the clock down to end our first quarter. Let me put your thinking cap on here and some of the players that have come through here at the wide receiver position. Ryan Little, I'm not going to say he's been the best receiver because we've seen Rayvon Johnson, you've seen Brandon Ruffin, we've seen a whole bunch of guys come through that have been amazing. But when it comes to the skill of just going up and getting it one-on-one, give me Ryan Little over anybody. He might not be the fastest guy. He might not be able to break tackles quite as much as Rayvon and those kind of guys, but when it just the sheer go up and get it, I don't know if we've seen anyone better than that.
And he is a guy that, you know, you talk to him, off the field and even on game day, he loves football. He absolutely loves football. And, you know, like I went and visited him, as we know, a couple years ago. He had the very serious leg injury early in the season. Went to see him. I think it was the next morning, that Sunday morning, to see how he was doing and everything in the hospital. And right from that day, he said, I said something, and he said, I'll be back. I'll be back. And he busted his tail to get back. And he's really at 100% this year. Last year, he really wasn't. You know,
you can see him hobble.
Yeah, you saw him hobbling, and every time he hobbled, I think, when we were on a broadcast, you were like, oh, my God, it looks like he's hurt again. Well, that's just the way he had to walk as he was recovering from that injury. But he worked really hard with the training staff of St. Francis, and to see him excel the way he has, not only last year but especially this year, it's really great to see.
Yep, one of the greatest stories to come through St. Francis football after that injury, to see where he's at now. Incredible story. Came in with 16 catches and 320 yards and a couple of touchdowns. Already today has 3 catches for 52. So we're going to switch sides of the field, and now the sun is coming back out from behind the clouds. The sun is at the back of the St. Francis offense, which means these receivers are turning back into the sun to make those plays. So it's going to be kind of tough.
Yeah,
we'll see if they can do it. First down for St. Francis.
Especially hard for the guys on the right-hand side, not so much the left-hand side.
Tight end right. The give goes to Stringham, looking for a hole. Gets up the middle. He just keeps running so hard and picks up 4 more, maybe 5. Yeah, they give him 5.
Yeah, in the previous play, 27-yard reception for Ryan Little.
They move it back a yard. So second down and 6 coming up as they approach the red zone. I didn't think there was any chance that he was in bounds on that catch. How did he stay in bounds?
I didn't either, and there were, and both officials were there, and I saw both of them, and neither of them were like signaling incomplete. And like I said, he's got those leaps too. He just gets over the defender that time, and the defender, as you can see, he's on the same defender on that side.
Snap it! There's on the field. They got 2 seconds on the play clock. Snap the ball. They didn't. They threw the flag for a delay of game.
It should be. How can you call delay of game on the offense when the defense was coming in?
Can't you just hike the ball? The defense was substituting, and they had
and the umpire was like right on the ball.
Oh, was the umpire on the ball?
Yeah, and that's why I didn't quite understand why.
I was saying snap the ball.
Right, exactly. But I don't know why he was on the ball like the way that unless St. Francis, had some guys coming in and out. So that might have been what it was.
All right, so penalties really kind of hurting St. Francis here in the beginning part of this game. Second down and 11 now.
I think Aaron Larkin's now into the lineup for the Saints.
Quick throw up. They tried to go up top to Hackman, but it's incomplete. Came down kind of hard on this Indiana Wesleyan turf. It's going to go incomplete, bringing up 3rd and long. And again, even when you do well on first down, you get a Larry Stringham run for 4 or 5 yards. Penalties have really hurt St. Francis. They got 3 penalties for 20 yards already, and it's only just underway in our second quarter.
Yeah, and this is where Indiana Wesleyan, when the Saints have been 3rd and long, they've gone with a 5-man rush. It looks like this time they might go 4. Let's see if one of the linebackers comes up.
4 linemen, 3 linebackers. Everyone stays put. They're going to rush 4. They're going to go deep to Little again into the end zone. Diving attempt. He had a chance at it. Couldn't quite corral it in. Incomplete. I like the idea going one-on-one with Ryan Little, but it was Davion Turner who knocked it away at the end. The guy who got burned on the last long pass play for St. Francis came up big that time for the Wildcats. And Adrian Guerrero is going to come out.
This will be a career long. It'll be a 47-yarder, Nick.
He's got the leg. As long as the operation goes smooth and he can get this in the air, he can get it there from this distance. And it's right in the middle of the field.
It'll actually be
and a win
officially 46 yards now. Looks like where they're going to line it up.
Win shifted a bit. So Win is left to right here for Guerrero. Career long, 47-yard attempt. Snap is good. Hold is down. Kicks on the way. Plenty of leg. That would have been good from 57. Adrian Guerrero nailed it. 21-10.
I'll tell you what, he's done a really nice job. He struggled. It's been about 50-50, hit or miss. We saw his first field goal miss from 21 yards. I think it was blocked last week. But he hit 3 more, hit all 7 of his extra points. That gives you confidence for a day like today when the coach puts you in. And this is a career long for Adrian Guerrero, the MSFA Midwest League Player of the Week last week. Again, he had field goals of 21 yards, 42, and 33. And like I said, kicked all the extra points. Jake Friddle had 14 points. Ryan Guerrero with 16 in a game as a place kicker. So that's why he was the MSFA Midwest League Player of the Week, and that's the second straight week for the Saints that they gained that distinction. Obviously, the week before it was Carl Bew with his 100-yard kickoff return, and he was also the NAI National Player of the Week. So great job, 46-yard field goal by Adrian Guerrero with 13:35, puts a dent in that scoreboard, makes it 21-10. And the other nice thing was it was that nice long drive.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe get that offense and Low G a little bit rusty, right?
Well, not to burst your bubble here, but they kind of are prone to slow starts. They tend to pick it up even more as the game goes on. If you want to go by some of the numbers on that, they've outscored. They've actually been outscored in the first quarter so far. I'm sure you've read that stat. They've been outscored 41-34, but it gets pretty ugly as you go into the second, third, and fourth quarters.
Was it like 86-30 or something?
Uh-huh.
So.
Yeah, they are a slow starting team, but they sure don't.
They haven't showed it today, right?
No, not today. That's for sure. Jones and Irwin to return the kickoffs here for Indiana Wesleyan. We haven't seen Drew Dutton, I believe, who's their all-world return guy. I don't think we've seen him out there today. Unless they've changed numbers. I got 81 and 82 as Montez Jones and Grant Irwin.
Yep, that's who I have.
Guerrero's going to tee it up from his 35. 13:35 to go in the first half. It's 21-10. Indiana Wesleyan, and a nice drive by St. Francis to keep the offense of Indiana Wesleyan off the field. Ended in points. Guerrero's kickoff. They're going to try that short kick to the right. It's going to be returned from the 22, one of the upbacks, all the way up to the 34. So 12-yard return, but handled well. That kind of play is going to work against the Lawrence Tech, against the Madonna. Probably not going to work too well against Indiana Wesleyan. They're too good at scouting and too well coached to really let that happen. 13:31 to go. Arjun Lothi, one of the more dangerous quarterbacks, back on for Indiana Wesleyan.
All right, the Saints need to get an interception on this drive here, Mr. Nick.
Yeah, I'll do everything I can here for you.
I don't think we want you in the defensive backfield.
Corners are back, safeties are deep. They're going to run it on first down. There goes Morrison, nearly broke another one. Nice tackle at the 41-yard line for St. Francis. Who was that?
That was Carson Hansen.
Okay, of course it was.
Yeah, right.
Carson Hansen, leading tackler for a loss, leading sacker for St. Francis from his linebacker spot. 2nd down and 2 after the 8-yard run. They're going to try to go deep again. Lothi lets it fly down the middle, and he connects for another big touchdown. It goes 57 yards. Another huge touchdown play. He just knows where his receivers are going to be, and he puts it on the money every time. The arm strength is incredible from Lothi.
And he had a couple of steps on the St. Francis defender, Sabian Wilder, that time, and just a race to the end zone.
I'm worried about the offense getting tired.
You're right. Yeah, we have to see the number of plays for.
It's 26 plays. 14 plays for 190 yards. They're averaging 13.5 yards a play.
Wow.
As the extra point is good. So here comes Nate Mall. You got to keep up. This is a track race against Indiana Wesleyan. Stopping them is going to be pretty hard to do for anybody. Even against a team like Marion with a stout defense, they still put up 48 points. Nobody's going to stop this offense from scoring. You got to keep up and then hope for a good bounce somewhere along the way.
Yeah, and right now, and we've seen this from the St. Francis secondary, they've given room to the receivers, and that is something that you can't do against this Indiana Wesleyan team. You give them more than a couple inches, they're gonna run all over the field, which they're doing right now.
Yeah, they had soft coverage on the line of scrimmage, but even if you play press coverage, the offensive line for Indiana Wesleyan is so good. They're going to give all the time in the world to those receivers to eventually get open. Eventually, they're going to beat you downfield, and eventually Lothi's just going to let go another bomb down the field. For
how do you stop? How many yards did he have last week throwing, did you say? I know you said it was a single-game record.
401.
401, and today he has 124 already, 5 of 8. How about this?
Right on, Pat.
How about his quarterback rating today? 234.0.
I mean, I didn't even know that was possible, to be honest. All right, let's see if Carl Butte can make something happen here on special teams. Try to keep the Saints in this one. It's 28-10, 13 minutes to go in the first half. Here's the kickoff. High, short kick. It'll be Butte from the 7. He muffed it, picked it up at the 8-yard line. And here comes the cavalry for the Wildcats, and no return on the play. That's the second time that Buse bobbled the kickoff.
Yeah, in this one, he tried to pick it up, dropped it again.
And the flag comes in. That's going to be on St. Francis.
I did not see it.
Yeah, just kind of, there was a pile up, and I don't think the Indiana Wesleyan player was too much of in a hurry to move off the pile. St. Francis tried to get them to move sooner, and they're going to get flagged.
See what the official calls here.
After the play, on sportsmanlike conduct, return team number 15. Penalty is half the distance to the goal. This is number 15's first unsportsmanlike towards ejection.
That's Abubakar Berry trying to protect his return man there.
Yeah, I don't want to start this deep for sure. This will be the longest distance to the other end zone for the Saints here this afternoon.
Yeah, now you have to worry about field position here too. Not that Lothé needs any more than 50 yards or any less than that.
And plenty of time left to play in this second quarter. Just a little over 2 minutes gone, and Indiana Wesleyan has already put 28 points on the board.
Fake to Barry. It's Sorensen trying to run out of his quarterback spot, and you wondered if they did their scouting, and it looks like they did on that play. Only 2 yards on the keeper for Sorensen, and they're going to keep him in the game here. Looks like it. Johnny Sorensen now the quarterback.
First time this year we saw Johnny run a little bit last week, had the touchdown run, but a lot of his runs were to the left side. That was really the first time, I think, in a little over 1+ game that we've seen him run to the right side.
He tries to keep it himself, tried to get a block from Friddle, diving forward past the 10, minimal gain there. St. Francis just really trying to figure it out, trying to get any kind of thing going, but now it's going to be 3rd down and 5. And 3rd down is a scary place to be against Indiana Wesleyan normally, but it's really bad when you're at the 10-yard line.
And Nathan Mull back in for the Saints on 3rd down. Looks like they're only going to bring 4 again.
4 down linemen, 3 linebackers, 2 linebackers and a nickel. They're going to bring an extra linebacker on the blitz. Nate's got nothing downfield, trying to make something happen past the 15.
Short.
Yeah, he's going to be 2 yards short. You got to punt it away here. It's going to be 4th down and 2 at St. Francis's own 15-yard line.
And again, those are the things, we saw 2 runs on the first 2 plays, Nick, and the primary reason is you don't want to put this Indiana Wesleyan offense back on the field.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you got to have a running game. Guerrero on to punt now.
See how Indiana Wesleyan attacks this one. Looks like they might be going for the
block.
Block this time.
They're not going to let them all alone, I'll tell you that. Last time you tried to punt, nobody guarded Guerrero, and he just ran for a 1st down. And a flag comes in. It's going to be delay a game on St. Francis. The penalties are stacking up here. What is happening?
5-yard penalty. Remains 4th down.
I feel like it's like they're starting the clock at a lower time. It's like they have no idea how much this is the 2nd or 3rd delay a game penalty.
Yeah, 2nd for sure.
All right, Guerrero standing halfway in his own end zone to punt this one. Good snap to Adrian, lets it fly. Short, high punt. Fair catch called for at the St. 49. Arjun Lothi in this offense will start in St. Francis territory.
Actually, a very good punt. 2nd good punt on the afternoon for Adrian Guerrero.
Nice. Well, we're not used to being so far and high. You're right, though. It did end up being about a 55-yard punt through the air, if you include the fact that he started halfway into his own end zone. Pistol formation now for Wesleyan. Morrison, he's already broke a long one for a touchdown. He'll take the hit. No, he won't. They're going to go long again. Lothi to the sideline. It is caught. Out it comes. It's a fumble. No! Oh, he certainly caught that ball.
It was close.
That was a caught ball that was knocked away, in my opinion. Oh, my goodness. They're going to call it incomplete. You don't agree with me, do you? You think that was incomplete?
It was really close. A nice job defending on that play.
Yeah, it was knocked away. 2nd down. Here's the give to Morrison. Inside run for him. Picks up 7. 3rd and 3 coming up. And again, they are so fast. You got to be ready, because if you're not, they'll hit you for a touchdown.
It was Xavier Gary on the coverage on that 1st down play that led to the incompletion. So good job by Gary, the graduate student, playing this near cornerback spot.
2 wide receivers left, now make it 3. Trips left, 1 right here for Lothi on 3rd down and 3. Shifting on the defensive line for St. Francis. 4 down linemen. Running back motions to the right. Empty backfield for Lothi. Lets it rip, finds his receiver up to the 35-yard line, and that's enough for a 1st down on the 8-yard pass and catch. That one goes to Isaac Smith, his favorite receiver. Over 40 catches now, which is top 5 in the nation in amount of receptions. When they need a completion, they go to Isaac Smith.
And Indiana Wesleyan, a perfect 3 for 3 on 3rd down, Nick.
1st down here. Play action. They're going to go long again. Up and, nearly had it. I don't know if you saw it as they went long again for Grant Irwin, but Lothe threw that ball into the air probably 4 seconds before the receiver even turned around.
Yep.
They are so well coached, and they know this offense so well that they're so confident they're throwing that ball before you even know if he's going to be open.
Yeah,
that one falling
it's all about timing, and that's what you see, right, week in and week out on NFL games.
Lothe again. It was soft coverage. It's complete to Isaac Smith and out of bounds at the 20-yard line. That's just an easy 10 yards and a first down. The coverage was just so soft. Lothe just tossed it out to the sideline, and Smith picked up the first down.
Yeah, definitely one-on-one coverage there, and like you said, 10-yard curl out and get the first down.
Corners are off. Safeties are up now for St. Francis. They're going to hand it off. Morrison, great tackle at the 20-yard line. No gain, second down coming up. Carson Hansen, the one to get up off the bottom of the pile.
Yeah, Michael Hackman there as well for the Saints. Good coverage read from him from his free safety spot, seeing that it was a definite run play and only a pickup of 1, maybe 2 yards on that.
2 wide receivers left, 1 right. Ball middle of the field at the 20. Lothe shifting, throws an absolute dart to Smith on the post route. Touchdown. Arjun Lothe is unreal. If there is a window to throw the ball, he will throw it through it.
And not only is it that, but his receivers are so quick.
Yeah. They make it look as if, like, why can't everyone do this? They make it look so easy.
Yeah, and there's still 8.5 minutes left to play in the second quarter, Nick.
34-10 as it sits. Snaps good, holds down. The extra point is through. 35-10. And this Indiana Wesleyan offense is cooking. 239 yards. Already 165 through the air.
Four offensive possessions, 4 touchdowns, Nick. And the drives have not really been all that short. I mean, the first drive was 70 yards. Second drive, 53. And then the third drive was 67. This one, 49. And then, of course, the interception return for the other touchdown for the 5th score. And Indiana Wesleyan right now, with 8:30 left to play in the second quarter, is 7 points shy already of their season average, Nick.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. The cornerbacks are having a pretty tough time hanging with the receivers, and when those Wildcat receivers even get a step, Lothe puts it right on the money. Whether it's a touch pass through the air or he needs to put some velocity on it on a slant, it's in the exact right place every time. Every time.
And Lothe, 8 of 13 for 165 yards, 2 touchdowns. On that one incompletion, his passer rating went down, so it's 218.7 or 218.9 right now. Again, a reminder, the Saints will be off next week, and then they begin MSFA Midwest League play. You got that schedule in front of you, Nick. We open with St. Xavier at home, and it's like home, away, home, away, home, right?
Home, away, away, home,
Okay.
away. Yeah, it's St. Xavier at home after the bye week next week, and then Judson and Marion on the road. The last home game of the year will be against St. Francis, Indiana on the 8th, and then final game will be out in Bourbonnais. Taking on Olivet Nazarene, a team that gave this Indiana Wesleyan team all they could handle earlier this season. The Wildcats beat Olivet Nazarene 28-27. I would assume that the St. Francis coaching staff watched that film. Short kick. Carl Bew will run up and get it from the 16-yard line. It was handled cleanly, hit immediately at the 22, 8 yards, and punished at the end of that play.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't blow the whistle a little bit earlier because Carl was stopped on that play, and then the third guy, they had two guys on him tackling him, and then it was the third guy that just really put a pop to him and sent him to the turf here at Wildcat Stadium.
Saints, the energy is just leaving the building. Just you can feel the confidence kind of depleting. They need something good to happen here.
Yeah, the Saints' drives have not been, other than the 46-yard field goal and the drive at the beginning of the game, it's been 3 or 4 and maybe 1 first down.
They're going to go long to Bew. Fighting. Flag is going to come in for pass interference, I believe.
I thought it was pretty good coverage, but now they're saying pass interference. Yeah, and this is one thing that right now the St. Francis
defense, number 6. 15-yard penalty from the previous.
They're going to get Darren Aravalo, who had that pick 6 earlier with the pass interference on that play, trying to guard Carl Bew downfield.
Yeah, what I was going to say is, again, this Indiana Wesleyan defense has given up some points, has given up some yardage. The Saints have scored 10 points, but besides that, really that first drive, the Saints haven't really put together too many offensive series here, and that's something you have to do if you want to get back in this contest.
Cornerback shading toward the blitz here. They're going to keep it on the ground. Larkins, not much room as they try to go off tackle left. No gain on the play, maybe 1. Second down coming up. And even the run game where they had a little bit of success earlier, can't really get it going now either. They're going to send Urisic, the tight end, out and bring Connor Engstrom in on 2nd and a long 9.
Yeah, and that time was really the first time that the Saints strung it out a little bit with Larkins. And the first time I think he's had a carry, maybe it's his second. But he tried to string it out where a guy like Larry Stringham is going straight ahead and picking up 3-4 yards of crack.
To throw on 2nd down. They're going to go long to Connor Engstrom. It's overthrown and nearly intercepted. Just not on target there. That was Hackman downfield. Incomplete, brings up 3rd down. Would have loved to have seen Hackman kind of, if there was some sort of communication he could have to cut that route off, because he was covered over the top the entire way as they were trying to go deep. Or maybe a little softer touch from Nate.
Saints 3 of 7 on 3rd down. And you look at the disparity, Nick. 15 minutes, 32 seconds time of possession for the Saints. Just 6 minutes for Indiana Wesleyan.
Yep. Blitz is coming from Nate Mull's right side. Picked up downfield and incomplete again. The Connor Engstrom had the move. He had the space, but Nate Mull just couldn't put it on him.
Yeah, just not connecting right now. And I think it's, again, it's a little bit of that pressure from Indiana Wesleyan, and Nathan Mull just doesn't have the time that he's had each of the last couple of weeks.
Adrian Guerrero on again to punt. Leo Morrow, the sophomore from Fisher, Indiana, back to return at the 18-yard line. Snap is a bit low, handled by, he could have gone again if he wanted to. Angled kick right, fair catch called for and made at the 21. I think Guerrero might have been able to run for it again because the entire Indiana Wesleyan special team unit ran back to try to block for the kick return.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And that's the way they set it up, and that's what St. Francis saw on the film, and that's what led to that 14-yard 4th down conversion for the Saints back in the first quarter.
I think he could have done it again.
Unfortunately, what was it, 1 or 2 plays later was the 58-yard interception return for a touchdown.
You got it.
7:18 left to play, second quarter. It's been all Indiana Wesleyan. Wildcats lead it 35-10, and they have the ball again. They've scored on each of their first 4 possessions, as well as the defensive score.
Snap back, quick pass out to the wide receiver, gets a good block, makes one miss, and rolled up to the 29-yard line. Nice play. Take him out of bounds for St. Francis.
Rob Baranowski on the tackle that time for the Saints. Playing one of those, the outside linebacker position, and a little bit of cornerback free safety, playing free safety on this play.
Another quick play The run was stuffed at the line of scrimmage that time, only a yard or two. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 2 for Indiana Wesleyan.
Again, as we mentioned, Indiana Wesleyan 3 for 3 on 3rd downs, and everything's been perfect, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Scoring on each of their first 4 possessions, converting on 3rd down every time.
Another carry. This one stuffed at the
All
line.
right.
It's going to be
There
4th down. Hey, how about just give us a punt here?
There we go. Good job. I think it was
They're not going
Alan
off the
Richards on that stop.
Oh, yeah, yep. Inside run was stopped. And the first punt of the day from Indiana Wesleyan. That's a good defensive stand by St. Francis. I was looking at their touchdown drives. My quick math would say an average time of possession on those drives is around 2 minutes. About.
Well, their first one was 2:32, and then they scored like with 37 seconds.
Yep, 2:32, 37 seconds, 3:25, 32 seconds, 2:14.
Low line try punt.
It'll be Connor Engstrom, the return man. 45 to midfield.
There you go. Good job.
Big hit up to the 50-yard line. A nice short field for Nate Wall and company. Let's see if they can move the ball here.
Nice 13-yard return. Gets it back to midfield, and 5:41. Let's see if the Saints can control this ball for
the rest of the half.
Yeah, that would be nice.
5:41 to go in the half. Saints trail 25 here. It's 35-10.
First and 10 for the Saints from the 50.
Looks like Gavin Day back in at tailback. Nate Mall, the quarterback. Connor Engstrom hasn't quite got a reception yet, I don't believe.
Yep, he's been targeted a couple times.
He is the leading man when it comes to catches.
Here's Larry Stringham again.
Got out to the 51, only about 1 yard there. Tough run, but
got out to what yard line?
Linebackers were there to meet him. Did I say 51 again?
Yeah.
49-yard line. I've been known to do that once or twice. Yeah.
Establishing a new game of football. Nick Jacobs.
1 yard past the 50. Stringham. Yeah, he's a tough runner, but he just met a brick wall that time.
Yeah, for sure. First time he's really been stopped, like right at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah. I know Dan Sharp, my partner for the home games, loves seeing Stringham run. Here's Mull to throw on 2nd and 9. Has to escape. Still trying.
Oh,
Ball
fumble.
comes out. And
I think Stringham's got it. They're tugging for it.
Officials right there. They're still fighting. What are they letting them fight for? Blow the whistle. There.
I think it's going to be
St. Francis
ball.
Yeah. Well, we knew a fumble was coming eventually. That's the 11th fumble of the season for St. Francis, only the 3rd that they've been able to jump on.
St. Francis must leave one play, helmet off.
Stringham's helmet popped off, so he'll have to leave for a play, and Larkins will come back on.
Fumble was forced by number 55, Garrett Hathaway.
So it'd be back to the line of scrimmage. It'd be 3rd and 10, and the Saints 3 of 8 on 3rd downs right now.
The loss puts it back to the 50, 3rd down and 10.
And the last play was just a straight 4-man rush, and they got the sack on that. Similar situation here.
4-man rush again, picked up well, plenty of time downfield. There looked like there was some holding at the end of that play, but it's going to go as an interception. It was overthrown and picked off. Devin Alavalo again, his 2nd interception. They were trying to look for Jake Friddle downfield. It seems like St. Francis really only has 2 options, run between the tackles or throw it deep. We haven't seen much of anything else besides that. There's been no middle pass game that I can think of, no screen game.
There was just the one outside pass along that far sideline, the nice catch by Ryan Little for about 25 yards, but that's been it.
Actually, the first play of the game was just a quick slant completion, 10 yards. Maybe the adjustment by Indiana Wesleyan has made that impossible. So punt from Indiana Wesleyan. They get it right back on the interception. Quick out it goes, and it is complete to Isaac Smith out to the 40. But a 10-yard pass and a 5-yard run after catch. First down. See, you just throw it to your receiver who's standing out there and let him run for the first down. What's so difficult? The coverage for St. Francis is understandably soft because it's so easy for Indiana Wesleyan to go deep. But they're giving them about 7 yards, the cornerbacks are. They're going to go deep again. No one's covering him on the sideline. It's complete just left all alone before Ryan Banis had to come over and push him out of bounds.
Yeah, I don't know where the mix-up was that time because there were 2 wide receivers to that far left side. And what do we got, a timeout here? But there were 2 wide receivers to that side. And then Ryan Banis pulled away from his receiver, and that's what created for that receiver being wide open.
We're walking back, so it's got to be a penalty.
Illegal.
Eligible player downfield. Offense number 12 was covered up. 5-yard penalty, remains first down. Please set the game clock to 3 minutes, 20 seconds.
So legal man downfield. Looks like the receivers just set up incorrectly on the play.
I believe you're right. Yep.
–
35-yard line is the line of scrimmage. First and 15.
20 seconds on the game clock, please.
Got to put 5 more seconds on the clock, and they do. First and 15 for Arjun Lothe, the quarterback for Indiana Wesleyan. Again, the one corner's up tight, the others are soft. They go to a screen pass in the left side. It was hunted down well, only 2 yards there on first and 15. Second and 13 coming up at the 37. Well sniffed out by the St. Francis D that time. Second down.
Pass was complete to number 82, Grant Irwin.
Under 3 minutes left to play in the first half.
Michael Hackman.
Doubles left and right. They hand off in the middle. Morrison chopped down at the 46-yard line. It was Nathan Shute saving the first down. Third down and 4 now for Indiana Wesleyan.
Cameron Morrison.
First time Indiana Wesleyan wasn't successful on third down was the last series. Let's see if the Saints can do it again on this drive.
2 wide receivers left, 1 to the right. Snap back to Lothe. Plenty of time in the pocket, launches it right side. It is complete to Smith. He's going to trot in for another Wildcat touchdown. Ryan Banis just cannot cover Smith right now. And it's 41-10 with 2:12 to go in the first half.
Yeah, there have been a lot of defensive backfield breakdowns, at least 3, right, Nick?
Right.
And it's led to 5 offensive touchdowns, not to mention the other one was defensively, and that's what's led to the 41, soon to be 42 points with 2:12 left to play in the second quarter.
Extra point's good, 42-10, 2:12 to go.
Extra point is good.
They just cannot cover right now. The receivers, and Arjun Lothe is an amazing quarterback. He's very good at all aspects, but I feel like they're just making it easy on him because the receivers are so wide open. They're not even forcing him to make incredibly difficult throws here.
Yeah, and the Saints, coming in, we knew this with the exception of like last week. The Saints have allowed 244 yards a game through the air. It's on the ground where they've been solid, and obviously Indiana Wesleyan has seen that in the film, and that's why they've taken advantage of it. And that's why they passed for already 326 yards. Again, averaging just under 12 yards per play. And they've only had, how many plays here? Total plays, I can't find it. 28 plays.
28 plays, 326. Yeah, same
242 through the air. My bad. Misread it. And another 84 on the ground.
Carl Pugh back to receive.
All right, here we go with our kickoff after the touchdown. 2:12 to go in the first half, 42-10 the score. It's all Wesleyan here in Marion, Indiana. Number 16 team in the country fell from number 5 after the 1 touchdown loss to Marion. Actually, 10-point loss to Marion. Carl Buse sent back into the end zone. He has to bring it out now, and he does. He's going to go between the numbers and sidelines right, close to the 20-yard line, and a flag comes out late. You hope that that's going to be on the Wildcats. I think it is, judging by some of the body language. Probably a hit out of bounds or late hit of some kind.
It was tackled by number 41, Camden Zeislaw.
Still waiting on the call. The referee and the other official still chatting about it. Here we go.
Personal foul. Kicking team number 25. Late hit out of bounds. 15 yards added to the end of the return. First down, St. Francis.
Late hit out of bounds on Wesleyan. 15 extra yards for St. Francis. Let's see if they can do anything with it here in the final 2:05 of this first half.
Yeah, we said we didn't want to give the ball back to Indiana Wesleyan with 5 minutes to go. We definitely don't want to give them even, 30 seconds.
Yeah, they don't need more than 30 seconds, yeah. First down for Nate Mall. Has Stringham behind him. 2 wide receivers left, tight end left. Linebacker showing blitz to Mall's left, and we're going to get a flag. Is that another false start?
Yep.
Jeez.
Down the field.
Yeah, the offense not operating on all cylinders this afternoon like they have the last couple weeks. And
the 6th penalty on the Saints in the half. Well, Indiana Wesleyan's got 4 for them as well. Far from a clean game from either team.
Saints averaging 7 penalties per game, so already up to 5, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Play action. They throw to Little, thrown behind him, could have been intercepted again. Ryan Little is just double covered on the slant. A timeout called by
2 minute.
Oh, 2 minute warning. Thank you very much. 42-10 our scores. We approach halftime. St. Francis just going to try to find something that works on offense. And what have we seen work so far? Let's look at it. You've seen Larry Stringham running the football between the tackles. That's worked. Early in the game, we've seen some quick passes out to Little. It seems like Indiana Wesleyan may have adjusted to that. But really, the only thing that's been successful more often than not has been Stringham running the football, as far as I can tell.
Yeah, and really you're starting to see, the first couple of weeks, Nathan Mall, first-time quarterback, didn't have that confidence, just trying to learn the offense, understand it in game conditions. Gained that confidence back the last couple of weeks. What was he, 17 out of 30 last week? Probably his best game by far. And today it seems like that confidence has taken a hit again. And I know he's been under a little bit more pressure this week, but just not as crisp today.
And you know what? One of the best teams in the nation will do that to you. I think, I think Nate Mall's had a chance to play some teams that he can beat, some teams that he can be coached, to be successful against. And this Indiana Wesleyan team, kind of a different beast than that. He's getting a taste of what upper echelon NAI football is like today.
Yeah, and like I said, let's see if the Saints can string a couple first downs together, maybe get it at least in field goal range, if not get a touchdown. But definitely do not want to give Indiana Wesleyan the ball one more time before the end of this first half. They've already hit their scoring average on a per-game basis. It's 42.2. They've got the 42 already.
Waiting for TV to come back here before we can get this game back underway.
It'll be 2nd and 15 for the Saints from their own 28.
Here we go after the penalty, 2nd and 15. Line of scrimmage, the 28-yard line for St. Francis. Stringham behind Mall. I know when you're down 42-10, say, hey, run between the tackles. Not going to help you too much, but they do give the Stringham this time. He's able to get maybe 1 or 2. So 3rd down coming up for St. Francis, and another timeout called by Wesleyan, I would assume.
Indiana Wesleyan, their second of the half.
Yeah, when you saw that score against Marion last week, 52-42, a loss for Indiana Wesleyan, you're like, uh-oh, that'll really upset them when they come into this week's game against St. Francis. And it obviously has. They've already put 42 points on the board, which is what they scored last week. And not only that, but look at it's third down, less than 2 minutes to go. You're up by 32 points, and you're calling a timeout to get the ball one more time.
It's true. Oh, 152 to go here in this one. I mean, what can you do besides just sigh at this point? I mean, they're just, when you say well-oiled machine, this is what you're talking about.
Yeah, they've scored on 5 of their 6 offensive series. They've only had to punt once, and they've only had the ball they haven't even had the ball for 10 minutes today. 9:25 for them, 18:30 for the Saints.
Yeah, the Saints have had the ball for twice as long as Indiana Wesleyan has today. Here's Mull to throw on 3rd and long, and a flag comes in. It's going to be another holding. Nate might as well throw this one away. And he does. He's pushed rudely out of bounds into the St. Francis bench. But that's going to be another penalty on St. Francis. That offensive line trying their best to hold up for as long as they can to those receivers.
I'm going to say Indiana Wesleyan is going to decline this maybe.
Nate Mull, a little worse for wear.
Holding offense, number 77. Penalty is declined.
Yep.
Result of the play, 4th down.
Yeah, they don't want St. Francis to have to run another play because that'll take some time up, and so they decided to.
As if they need it.
Yeah.
And Nate Mull kind of was pushed into the St. Francis bench and landed a bit awkwardly, so hopefully he's okay. Guerrero on to punt. Morrow back to return for the Wildcats. Snap, good one. Adrian's just going to let him run. Wait.
6 guys there that time.
Return called for, and the fair catch made in a diving fashion at the 30-yard line. I still wouldn't mind him running.
They actually waited that time. They had 6 guys. It wasn't until he punted that they charged back. But there were definitely 6 guys there. 1:34 left to play, second quarter here at Wildcat Stadium on the campus of Indiana Wesleyan University in Marion, Indiana. Where's Marion, Indiana? I would say northeast of Indianapolis, right?
Yep, for sure. Yeah. A little bit to the east of Kokomo, probably the Kokomo metro area, I suppose.
Metro area, Kokomo.
Here's Lothe to throw again, going deep again, has a man open again, and caught again at the 40-yard line. Just that easy, 31 yards. And another first down. This one to Deacon Diltz, the wide receiver, his first catch of the season.
Lothe's pass is complete to number 80, Deacon Diltz. Diltz with enough yards for Indiana Wesleyan.
3 wide receivers left, one to the right, no huddle for Indiana Wesleyan. Play action, quick throw, quick catch. And the run after catch goes to the 25-yard line. 10 yards or 15 yards there for a first down.
Lothe's pass complete to number 12,
120 and counting.
They just know what play they're running before the defense isn't even ready to go. Another quick pass outside. This one's incomplete. Just a terrible pass from Arjun Lothe.
Can he have about 20 more of those from this point forward?
They're running that play before St. Francis defense is even back into position.
Yeah, a lot of these plays, it's a 40-second, clock, and a lot of times most teams start with about 12 seconds. These guys are like 12 seconds after the 40 seconds.
Another bomb into the end zone, and it is incomplete. It was right into the hands of Smith.
Yeah, that was a perfect, good coverage that time, but still a perfect spot for Lothe to hit Smith. And actually, the ground might have just broke that up.
1:07 to go here in the first half. 42-10. That's a final score. Got 4 deep safeties for St. Francis. Try to keep them in front. They check it down to the running back Morrison, and he's rolled up at the 21-yard line. On 3rd down, they pick up 5. So 4th down coming up. Let's see if they put their field goal kicker out there with 50 seconds to go. Nope. Not yet, anyway. They might take the final timeout.
On the stop that time for the Saints. Good job, Nico Furchek. Free sick, I should say. My bad.
.32 seconds. They're just going to let the play clock tick down. 10 seconds on that play clock, so we'll take it down to about 16 seconds.
And they have one timeout left.
Yeah, I assume they'll call that timeout and put out their place kicker, Josh Clifton.
Timeout. Indiana Wesleyan.
So ball, the line of scrimmage, 21.
Timeout.
Another about a 38-yarder coming up-ish, which is kind of right in the sweet spot for what Josh Clifton's been kicking from. Every single field goal attempt that Clifton has had this year has been between 30 and 32 yards. It's kind of interesting that all of his field goal attempts are almost from the exact same spot on the field.
And really doesn't have to be there very often.
No. He's 3 for 4, hitting from 30, 31, 33, missing from 32.
They've had how many touchdowns on the year?
Yep, this will be a 38-yard attempt. Just inside the right hash. Winds are pretty calm at the moment. Kicking into the sun with 19 seconds. A bit of a high snap, but handled, put down, and it is
Right
good.
through the
Just
middle.
right down the pipe. 45-10, 13 seconds to go. This Indiana Wesleyan offense just untouchable. They've had just 2 drives that did not end in the end zone. This past one, which was a field goal, and 1 third down stop and 1 punt. That's it.
Yeah, and they have scored no less than 28 points in any one game. Both of their losses, well, one loss has been by a touchdown, was 38-31 against Kaiser. Then they stayed home and beat St. Xavier 31-3. Pounded Judson 79-21. Outlasted Olivet Nazarene 28-27 before falling to Marion 52-42.
Bew to return, and usually he stands in the middle of the field, but he's all the way over to the right numbers right now. So if they wanted to angle it right, they could, because there's nobody in that quadrant of the field for St. Francis. I wonder, I mean, if you're the kicker, are you looking at that like, I'm just going to kick it to the other side?
It's probably what they've seen throughout the time, that he's always kicked to that.
That's what he's going to do again, kick it right to Carl at the 5-yard line. Nice shoestring one-handed tackle at the 20-yard line. That's beautifully done by one of their gunners, 25, Zion Mills.
Now I would think that the Saints are just going to take one snap and down it and head into the break and try to figure out how to put some points on the board and how to keep Indiana Wesleyan from scoring.
Name of the game right there.
Easier said than done.
Yeah,
right?
sure is. And there's the knee from St. Francis. The final 6 seconds will tick off, and we'll go into halftime and lick some wounds here and try to figure something out. How do you stop one of the more high-powered offenses in the country? Well, this is their 6th game, and nobody's figured it out yet. We'll see if St. Francis can figure out the magic touch here at halftime. It's 45-10. We'll take a bit of a breather up here in Marion, Indiana. Back for the second half in about 15 minutes.
your Indiana Wesleyan University Marching Wildcats. The Marching Wildcats are led by Director of Athletic Bands Brianna Blankenship, assisted by Michael Flanagan, color guard instructor Emily Geringer, and percussion instructor Michael Reniker. I'm the voice of the Marching Wildcats, Davey Chin. Membership to the IWU Marching Wildcats is open to any IWU student, regardless of major. For more information about how you can become a Marching Wildcat, please visit our website at www.indwest.edu/Marching Wildcats. Be sure to like us on Facebook at IWU.MarchingWildcats and follow us on Instagram at IWU_Marching Wildcats. Let's hear it one more time for your Marching Wildcats!
The future of adventure starts now at Fear Power Sports in Bern, Indiana. Since 1993, Fear Power Sports is more than just a dealership. It's community, it's trust, and it's passion. Whether you're after a rugged ATV, a reliable side-by-side, or the latest Polaris off-road vehicle, our team is here to help you find the perfect fit. Chase more, dream big, and keep pushing forward. Fear Power Sports, you've got the passion, we've got the ride. The future.
Union Made as carpenters, millwrights, and floor layers. It's not just a label, it's who we are. From schools to stadiums, bridges to hospitals, we lead with skill and pride that pushes our industry to new heights. With a legacy spanning 140 years and a brotherhood over 37,000 strong, we're building careers and communities that stand the test of time. Want in? Visit carpenters.com to build your union-made career today.
you in the summer, to my heartbeat sound. We fell in love as the leaves turn brown, and we could be together, babe, long as skies are blue. You act so innocent now, but you lied so soon. When I met you in the summer.
All right, halftime here in Marion, Indiana. Your halftime score, it's Wildcats 45, St. Francis 10. It is a tough job trying to slow down one of the nation's best offenses, and no team has figured it out this season, and St. Francis hadn't figured it out in the first half. Hopefully they do in the second. 33 plays, 375 yards. That's an average of 11.7 or 11.4 per play. They have been tearing it up. Most of it's been done through the air. 291 passing yards for Ajan Lothe. 291 passing yards on 15 of 22, which includes 3 touchdowns and a long of 59. The Wildcats have yet to allow a sack of Lothe, and that has continued in the first half as well. St. Francis defense unable to get to him in the offensive backfield. They've had two players rush the ball. Carson Morrison, 9 carries, 83 yards, and 2 touchdowns. That's Cameron Morrison, pardon me. They've also seen Aiden Ewing, a sophomore, carry it twice for 1 yard. For St. Francis, Nate Mall, the quarterback, 5 for 17, 92 yards, a touchdown, and 2 interceptions. Rushing the ball, look how many players have a carry in today's game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players have carried the football. Larry Stringham is leading the way, 8 carries for 32 yards. He's been probably the most productive player for St. Francis, averaging 4 yards per touch. Nate Mall, 5 carries for 18 yards. Adrian Guerrero gets credit for a carry on a fake punt that he ran for 14 yards. Johnny Sorensen, 5 carries for 5 yards as well. Only 2 players with the reception. Ryan Little's got 3 of them. One a spectacular one-on-one on the sideline that he pulled in for 27 yards. And Mason Hackman, 2 catches for 40 yards and the game's first touchdown. I'd ask you for keys in the second half here, Dave, but it really just comes down to, can you keep the receivers in front of you and make tackles? I should turn your microphone on. Unless you want the half off, and let me know. We can go with technical difficulties if you want.
No, you're exactly right. And, the Saints really, defensively, they've just struggled in the first half, and hopefully they can get some stops here in the second half. And
ball's out on the kickoff return. Are they going to say he was down? I haven't seen an indication yet.
It's hard.
I thought he was down looking at it live.
I did too, but I think it's going to be our ball. We had it at the end.
Yeah, they would have said he was down if he was down by now, so they just got to be looking to see who has it. If he was down, that call should have been made already. They can't look now and say that he's down.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I don't like to criticize officials, but they were very slow on getting to that ball.
How are they still talking about it? Either he was down and it's IWU ball, or it's a fumble and it's St. Francis ball.
Yeah, they were not ready for that play.
No, they were not.
I will say that right now.
Well, nobody's rushing off the field yet. Both teams kind of pointing in opposite directions, and they're going to give it to the Wildcats. Either he was down right away. You can't discuss if he was down that long.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. And we're in this booth, so it's hard to hear a whistle, and that's the only thing that made it a little bit more difficult to say, did they blow the whistle? Because we could see that the ball came out, but it looked like it came out after he landed, but we could not hear.
They're going to throw it again. Quick slant is caught up to the 50-yard line, and just like that, 16 yards. Boom, boom.
Yeah, it's just the they got two wide receivers split out to each side, and they're going 5 yards, cut in, and hit the inside man.
On the ground this time, filled the hole nicely. Did Carson Hansen, 1 yard gain on the run by Cameron Morrison.
And Carson Hansen with that tackle, not that he's done it every time, but he just seems a little bit more upset.
Yeah,
and
frustrated.
Just trying to get his defense motivated.
50-yard line, a line of scrimmage here on the 2nd down and 9 play for Arjun Lothé and Wesleyan. Play action again, inside route, right on the money again. A bobbled catch, but still came up with it. It's a catch by the tight end, Simon Vinson again.
Yeah, Vinson, the first time on that 15-yard play, he was lined up inside on the left side. This time he's lined up inside on the right side. And both times it's just 5 yards, slant in, and pick up 10 to 15 yards.
It's not even like it was terrible coverage either. It was just the ball is – he's one of the more accurate quarterbacks I've ever seen in person. Snap back to Lothé. Looking downfield, has a man in the corner, and incomplete. It was just a bit overthrown.
Yeah.
He's going to want that one back because he just knows where his receivers are going to be. He could be a blind quarterback at this point and know where his receivers are going to be because he threw that ball into the air, and the wide receiver was probably 15 yards away from where he actually got a hand on.
And the other thing that's nice about him, which we haven't talked about, 6'3", 205.
Yeah, he's a big guy.
So he can see over his offensive line.
Quick pitch out to the left to the sideline, up to the 20-yard line. Nate Shute first to make contact, and that's going to be enough for another first down. That was another kind of option throw that time. The routes were going downfield, but he saw the soft coverage over to his left. Changed his mind, quick fire, first down. Trips receivers left, one to the right. Single coverage over to the right. It's a wide receiver slant, but that's going to be it was behind the line of scrimmage, so I guess there can't be an interference, right?
No.
Nate Shute hit the tight end before the ball was halfway in the air. They saw that wide receiver screen coming, so maybe a little adjustment made there.
And really good that Nate was there because the St. Francis defense was not lined up just because of this offense moving so quickly.
To throw again, corner right at the goal line. It's going to be first and goal at the 1. And again, just a money throw to Braxton Myers that time. It's unreal how accurate he is and the anticipation that he has. First and goal at the 1-yard line to give to Morrison. Untouched end zone, another touchdown. What's he doing? Nick Franciscovich is still rolling him up. Oh, no, Franciscovich, is he picking up the flags?
No, he dropped
okay.
Yeah.
I thought he was letting his emotions get a little bit of – I don't think he knew that Lothé threw the ball, and he was kind of still rolling up his ankle. That was kind of a dangerous play.
I was looking at the runner.
No.
I did not see it.
Yeah, it was Franciscovich was at the foot of Lothé, and even after the handoff, he was trying to roll his leg, trying to bring him down to the ground, and it was well after the play. Maybe he didn't know it was a handed off. I'm not sure, but – that's going to be on St. Francis. We'll get the official call here.
After the play, there are 2 fouls, both on St. Francis. On sportsmanlike, number 6. Second on sportsmanlike, number 6. Number 6 is ejected from
Well, there goes Nick Franciscovich. A little frustration play by Nick, and he must have said something after the fact, too.
Yeah, I did not, like I said, I did not see it, but when you get 2 unsportsmanlike conducts in the same game, you're out for the next game, too.
Well, that's going to hurt. Next week or next game?
Next game, unfortunately.
Here's Clifton. Still waiting for that extra point to – here we go. Good snap. Holds down, and that is finally up and through. 52-10, and the touchdowns just keep on coming from Wesleyan here. Lothe, 19 for 28, 355, 3 touchdowns. Cameron Morrison's got a 3-touchdown game as well on the ground. And the defense put one up in the first half, too.
Yeah, and the depleted defense even gets more depleted with the loss of Franciscovich.
Yep, they're without C.J. Reeves today. I think Brooks is back from injury, but Trey Sayers out with injury for the rest of the year.
Be interesting. Let's see. The ball is usually kicked from what, the 35? So the ball is going to be kicked at the 35 of St. Francis. Might as well just kick it through the end zone.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never seen a kickoff from positive side of the field before. Yeah. This is incredible. He's going to kick a field goal. Yeah, 30 yards on unsportsmanlike penalties takes it from 135 to the other 35. It's actually surreal to even see. Like it's something. It looks like a mistake is being made. He's going to try an onside kick. Or at least maybe like a
pooch kick.
Some kind of pooch. Yeah, something that goes high in the air. You might as well, right? They can't really return it with so little field. I would say the hands team is not necessarily on the field either. Yep, they kick it, bouncing into the air, picked up by Larsons, and he's just going to lay down on the 10-yard line. Or Larkins, I should say, pardon me. Kicked it to the right guy.
And because of that, where's the ball going to be placed? Okay, at the 11.
All right, let's see if Nate Mull and company have figured something out, something that they liked on tape in that first half, something they can take advantage of. I don't know, I just don't love the body language.
Aaron Larkins into the backfield for the Saints this time. We saw Larry Stringham on the first series.
4 down linemen for the Wildcats, 3 linebackers. They're going to blitz, and we're going to have another St. Francis penalty.
False start again, left side, I believe.
The 3rd or 4th false start of the game.
I think that was Pula that time.
Say snap infraction?
Yeah, so that's on the center. We saw that last week. I think Madonna had that.
So ball backs up to the 6-yard line for St. Francis. 12:51 to go here in the 3rd quarter, chasing 42 points. Fake on the jet. Inside run for Larkins. Gets it up to the 9-yard line. It's going to be 2nd down and 13.
Head off to number 24, Aaron Larkins. Loss of a couple yards on the play. He was initially tackled by number 92, Antonio White. 2nd and 12 for the Saints.
Larkins, the tailback here behind Mull. 2 wide receivers left and 1 to the right. Play action, quick pass out to Engstrom. Shoestring tackle. Here comes the rest of the Wildcats. That goes for about 3. So they're back to the original line of scrimmage, 3rd down and 10 at the 11-yard line.
First reception for Connor Engstrom this afternoon, and that is not a good thing when there's 30 minutes, actually 33 minutes already gone. He's had a couple games where he's had 2 touchdowns in the first quarter.
Leads the team. Leads the team in catches and touchdowns.
Get loud, Wildcat fans. This is Saints 3rd down.
Saints 3 of 10 on 3rd down.
Through the air, they have Little on the sideline, and that looked pretty.
Go.
Nice and easy. Coverage was soft. They hit Ryan Little on the 12-yard out and picked up the 1st down out to the 22-yard line.
You know, and maybe that's what was discussed at halftime. What do you feel you're successful with? You heard that a couple weeks ago against Lawrence Tech, Coach Curry in the post-game show. They went up to, after the first 2 losses, they went up to Nathan Maw and said, what do you feel you're successful at? What do you feel confident in? And that's what led to the back-to-back wins. And maybe that's what was discussed at halftime, because that was a nice first down play.
Out to Bew. We got one man to beat, and he can't quite do it. He gets out to the 26. He's able to pick up 4.
Ball pass complete to number 1, Carl Pugh. Gain of 4 on the play.
Second down and 6. Line of scrimmage to 25.
Second and 6 for the Saints.
Corners very far off. 2 safeties back. 4 linemen, 3 linebackers. They're going to bring a linebacker on a blitz.
Oh,
and
right
that's the
there.
linebacker
Yep.
that knocked it down. Got up right in there, and it was it number 5 who knocked it down?
5 or 6 there.
Knocked down by
They
number
bunched their
5.
jerseys together. I think it's 5.
Oh, I got 5 as a wide receiver. I don't got a 5 defensively.
Down.
I know they did have a few numbers changes. I'm not sure if I caught those.
It is 5. All right, Saints got to convert on 3rd down here, 3rd and 6.
That was Terry Speak, the linebacker. Here's the snap back to Nate. Fires it left over to Maul. Flag comes in and behind the defense.
Penalty flag down on the field.
Yeah, that was away from the play.
Yeah,
It might
well,
be holding on the defense.
It's going to be short of the first down as it sits by a yard.
I
So
think it's going to be holding on the defense.
yeah, I think it's going to be defensively too. It's 4th down and 1 as it sits.
Yep.
Defense,
Yep.
number 32, 10 yards from the previous spot.
Vince Solano.
And of course, as they always do when they get a penalty, they all shrug their shoulders and open their hands.
Who, me? Yeah.
Who, me? First down for the Saints by penalty. Puts the ball at the St. Francis 36. Just over 10 minutes left to play 3rd quarter. It's been all Indiana Wesleyan, the number 16 ranked Wildcats, on top of the Saints this afternoon, 52-10.
First down at the 36. Maul hands off to Stringham. He's been the bright spot, kind of a bit of a horse collar there as he fights his way to the 41. That's another 5-yard carry by Larry Stringham. All day for Larry.
Larry Stringham with the carry.
Yeah, for Stringham, that's his 9th carry for 37 yards, averaging about 4 yards a carry, 5 yards on that particular play.
He was tackled by number
Just a
95.
bull back there.
He is. He's good. I like Larry. Second down and 5 at the 41 for St. Francis. 9:35 to go in the 3rd quarter. Snap to Nate. Play action to Larry. Looking downfield. Nobody there. He's going to be taken down and sacked for the 3rd time today.
Yeah, not sure what the design of that play was. If it was a tight set for St. Francis, they just had one wide receiver, and then they had the 2 tight ends, and that time neither tight end got out, in the passing area, and Maul just had to take the sack. So, not sure if it was just great defense or miscommunication on the offensive part.
Quentin Walker got the sack. He's got 3.5 to lead the team this season. Nate Maul flushed out of the pocket, throws on the run. He might have been looking for Ryan Little, but there was nobody home, and it goes incomplete, and it's going to bring out Adrian Guerrero to punt it away with 8:47 left to go in the 3rd quarter.
Down for the Saints.
Leo Morrow, the return man, ready to return it, looks like from the 18-17 yard line where he sits right now. It's probably about where Adrian is going to kick that ball.
Yeah, he's had 2 nice punts this afternoon.
Good snap back to Guerrero. He's going to let him run a little bit. End over end punt, bit shorter than normal, called for a fair catch and made at the 26.
Leo Morrow with the fair catch at the
52-10, Wildcats on top here over your Saints. Final crossover game of the year for both of these squads. St. Francis will have a bye week next week before they get into the Midwest calendar against St. Xavier, Judson, then Marion and St. Francis, Indiana, and then Olivet to end the year.
New quarterback, Nick.
That would be backup Isaiah Petty, the sophomore out of Cincinnati, Ohio. Up 52-10. Same offense. quick pass right out to the outside, and they pick up 8 yards.
Yeah, you can change the arm, but you don't change the plan of attack.
Isaiah Petty's pass complete to number 33, A.J. Schaefer.
A.J. Schaefer, the backup tight end, in as well. A lot of the second-string skills guys in there. Another handoff, hit at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that play, and Nate Shute pops up off the pile.
Head off number 20, Brock Short. Short gain. It's third
Brock
down.
Short with the short gain.
By number 22, Carson
No pun
Hampton.
intended.
Oh, pun very much intended. Yeah. Third down and 2 for the backup offense here for IW. One wide receiver split left, wing back right, tailback. Wing back goes in motion from the right side to the left. Right hash of the 31, inside carry. They're going to pick up the first down as they push the pile forward to about the 38-yard line. First down.
Petty's handoff was to number 6, Aiden Ewing. Ewing with enough yards for an Indiana Wesleyan University.
And usually you have like your backup quarterbacks relaying plays down to the offense. And you see Arjun Lothe, number 1 there with the headset on, a green ball cap, indicating he's one of the signal callers. So even though he's done for the day playing, he's still involved in the game.
You know, and they've slowed it down a little bit, but one thing I was going to mention as I started to watch the second half in the near sideline here is as soon as that play, as soon as each of their plays ends, they are signaling right away because they want to get that offense, you know, not slowing up at all.
Safeties come down, and a nice play for St. Francis by Michael Hackman. No gain on the reception. Third down coming up for Indiana Wesleyan.
Montez Jones. Brought down by number 20, Rob Baranowski. And number 21, Michael Hackman. Gain of 3, it's 3rd and 9.
3 wide receivers right. Snap to Petty. Drops back, checks it down to the running back, and gets a really good block. One Wildcat just blocked 2 Saints to spring the wide receiver for a first down on a short pass play.
To number 20, Brock Short.
Just took bad angles on that one.
For Indiana Wesleyan University.
And Indiana Wesleyan again back in St. Francis territory.
And quickly to the line.
For the Saint 45.
St. Francis, that defense just has no time to think. And even right now, they're trying to figure it out. Play action, quick throw. Slant is caught for, and it's a first down by about a couple of yards. 13-yard pass play. Out to number 82, Grant Irwin.
And what they're doing right now is, you know, as a defensive back, you got to get up tight and, you know, knock that guy off before he's even in his complete pattern.
Between the tackles, run this time, picks up 3. Flag comes in. The line judge here near side.
Short with the carry. Francis must leave one play, helmet off. Holding. Offense number 79. 10-yard.
They're going to get Logan Penhollow, the right guard, on the hold for Indiana Wesleyan.
Correction. The penalty is enforced from the spot of the foul.
Ten-yard penalty back to the 39-yard line for Indiana Wesleyan. 5:16 to go here, third quarter. Saints down 52-10. Offensive onslaught from Indiana Wesleyan in that first half, and their amazing quarterback, Arjun Lothe. Snap back to Petty, play action to him. Out route complete at the 30, make it 29. He's pushed out at the 30 by Nate Shute. Back to the original line of scrimmage it goes.
Yeah, just simple patterns, inside, outside. You give them a yard or two, and both these quarterbacks, the starter as well as the backup here, just right on target.
Corners are like 8 yards off the receivers. So worried about the deep route.
That's a nice stop there. Good job, Michael Hackman.
Hackman knocks that one down in the middle of the field.
Again, that's where you have to step up, and that's exactly what Michael Hackman did that time. and creates for the 3rd and 9 situation. No doubt they'll be going for it on 4th down in this territory here.
Petty gets the play. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Ball at the 29, left hash. 3 receivers right, 1 left. Running back to the left of Petty. Saints going to bring a little pressure. Don't get to him in time. Pitch out. It goes incomplete. Looking into the flat for Brock Short, and it brings up 4th down.
Pass was intended for number 20, Brock Short. It falls incomplete, 4th down.
Kevin Frazier, the linebacker, will come on for St. Francis here on 4th and 9. Like you said, they're going to go for it. Same formation, 3 wide receivers right, 1 left, running back left of Petty. Snap back to the quarterback, 3-step drop, looking right, firing into the end zone, and it is tipped and incomplete. Turnover on downs. The Indiana Wesleyan receiver had the size amongst the group that was under that football, but St. Francis able to knock it away, take the ball back. That is just the 3rd drive that Indiana Wesleyan hasn't scored a touchdown. It is just the 2nd drive that they haven't scored points. They punted once in the first half. That was pretty much it.
Yeah, and their other score has come on defense, a 58-yard interception return. See Gavin Day in the backfield for the first time. We've not first time. We've seen him earlier, but it's been a while.
Yeah. Bew and Little wide left. Friddle left tight end. Day behind Maul. They're going to go one-on-one, long to Little, up and got it. And that play has been there for St. Francis a few times. That's a first down near the Indiana Wesleyan 40-yard line. A 30-yard pass play again to Ryan Little. And that's why St. Francis is ranked very high in yards per completion.
Correct. Absolutely. About 15 yards per completion. And that's because you got guys like Ryan Little, and, he doesn't miss very often.
Mm-hmm.
And the same with Connor Engstrom. When the ball is in their hands, they make the catch.
First down for the Saints inside Wildcat territory. Under 4 minutes to play. Nate Mall 3-step drop. Pressure comes, steps up, throws it on the run
Nice
to Jake
catch.
Friddle for about 16 yards and another Saint first down. First catch of the day. Or is that Jurisic? I think it's the big boy. 89? Yeah.
No,
Jake.
I think that's Friddle.
Was that right?
Yeah, Friddle.
To number 89, Ryan
Yep.
Yeah.
Jurisic. He's got enough
Jurisic
yards
has the
for
black
Saints
shirt.
first down.
Jurisic tight end left. Friddle, he's a little taller and leaner. He's on the right side of that formation as a wing back. 2 receivers right, Little and Bew. They're going to go Little's way again. One-on-one for Ryan. Got it again inside the 10. Who can cover Ryan Little? The answer is nobody. He's so good using his hands.
He's got enough yards.
He likes to trash talk a little
He
bit.
does a little bit. He's like, I know you're kicking our butt, but nobody can guard me. You better put 2 guys on me.
And goal from the Wildcat 8.
Yeah, he has to be careful, especially I've seen a couple touchdowns where he scored and the referees are like, hey, cool it.
He's got the size advantage again here. They're going to hand off to Day. He's going to squeak through for the St. Francis touchdown. Oh, Day kind of flips the ball at the Wildcat defender. Take it easy there, my man.
Saints put their first points on the board here in the second half. Third quarter, 2:34 left to play. Nice drive by the Saints that time. They had a little bit more time. Obviously, they're going against the second unit of Indiana Wesleyan at this point, but still, to regain that confidence that you lost in that first half when you trailed 45-10, it was nice to run some clock and put some points on the board here.
Third touchdown of the year for Gavin Day. Guerrero puts it through for the extra point, 52-17.
Adrian Guerrero's extra point is good. Saints 17, Wildcats 52.
Nate Mall now 11 for 25. 170 yards. Gavin Day just 2 carries today, including that 8-yard touchdown.
Ryan Little, that might be he had a 100-yard game last year, didn't he?
I'd have to look back through the books, but I couldn't imagine that he didn't. Yeah. Right now he's at 6 catches, 109 yards. Wish we could have got him a touchdown because he deserves some points at the end of some of these catches.
Still get one here.
Oh, yeah, plenty of time. 2:34 to go here in the third quarter. 52-17 our score.
Very warm afternoon here in, I guess, central Indiana. It was 80 degrees at kickoff. It's currently 83 degrees.
It's a beautiful fall day.
Humidity's dropped down about 10%.
Thanks, Tom.
It was 60% at the start, 50% now. It's a good thing for the players on the field, that's for sure.
No doubt. Short kickoff will be fielded by the return man at the 15-yard line. Rolled over to the 35, still on his feet and pushing to the 40-yard line. That's a 30-yard return. Nicely done that time.
And right in the middle of that, the guy you talked about in the first half, they got the first down on the fourth down play, Adrian Guerrero.
Yeah.
Makes it all the way to the
You'll have to keep tabs on him, Nick, today.
Telling you.
Might see him along that defensive line.
Yeah, Adrian not afraid to mix it up. He's not just going to kick it and stand back there and hopefully he doesn't have to make a tackle. He'll mix it up with anybody. 2:25 to go in the third. Here comes Isaiah Petty, backup quarterback with the second unit offense. Trips here to the left, receiver to the right. Line of scrimmage is the 40-yard line. Tight end comes from wide right over to the wing spot left. They saw the run coming, but nice. The offensive line and tight ends did a great job getting out to block and a nice 6-yard pickup on first down. Short with a not-so-short gain that time.
6 yards on that gain. It'll be 2nd and 4.
Brock Short had 19 carries for 175 yards coming into the game, and he's going to spring one here for another touchdown. I don't know how he snuck out, but he's going to take it to the house. 55 yards to the score.
Yeah, similar play like we saw with St. Francis a week ago late in the game. Tyshawn Strong just comes off the right guard, wide open. Nobody there for the Saints. No, obviously, defensive linemen, no linebackers. And the running back races into the end zone for about a 45, 50-yard run and a touchdown.
$58-17 with the extra point coming up here from Josh Clifton. Snap is high and he gets away.
Got to get it, otherwise Saints could get it and get 2 points.
And he jumps on it around the 34-yard line, so the extra point is unsuccessful.
Snap goes back to the 33-yard line. Isaac Smith drops on the ball.
Take a look what's going on in that Taylor St. Francis Indiana game. They're at halftime there, 14-14. Good game down the road in Upland, Indiana.
You want to go check it out after we leave?
We'll see. We'll talk about it. They got a Dairy Queen in Upland? Both of those two teams, Taylor and St. Francis, Indiana, receiving votes in the top 25. So is Olivet. Right now, the highest ranked team in the top 25 in the MSFA, with both divisions combined, is Marion, Indiana, after their win last week over these Wildcats. They went from number 19 up to number 14. Indiana Wesleyan with a huge drop. Like, they are not the 16th best team in the country. To go from 5 to 16 is tough. I know you got to make sure somehow that Marion is ahead of them since they beat them, but what amounted to a one-score game, really. There was like 3 or 4 lead changes in the fourth quarter of that game. It really could have gone either way. But they were penalized pretty heavily to go from 5 to 14, or 16, pardon me.
Yeah.
And then some receiving votes teams out of the MSFA. Olivet, St. Francis, Indiana, out of the Midwest, and Taylor out of the Mideast, all receiving votes as well. Olivet just 8 points away from being rated in the top 25. That one will bounce into the end zone on the kickoff.
Yeah, you talk about that. What did you say? Indiana Wesleyan was number 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they dropped to number 16. I'll tell you what. I think if it's like a 17-10 17-7 defensive battle. I don't think they drop as much as they do.
Fair.
The fact that they gave up 52 points, then you have to say, well, something's questionable. And the fact that you have given up about 28 points a game makes you question, are they in the top 10?
Of course, the ball bounces a different way in that game, and they end up winning by 3 points. That 52 points given up doesn't matter.
Yeah, right.
And they're still number 5. So here's Nate Mall. He's going to go one-on-one to Carl Bew, but a bit overthrown. Incomplete. Nice job by Jordan Hill, the senior for Indiana Wesleyan defensively, in coverage of Carl.
Yeah, soon enough we'll see many of these teams that have already played Indiana Wesleyan. You try to play the comparison game, and you've sort of done that already this afternoon, looking at, again, Olivet Nazarene, the 1-point loss to these guys, and Marion the 10-point win.
They played St. Xavier earlier, too, in week number 2. St. Xavier held them to 31 points, except they couldn't score. It's 31-3, and there goes Gavin Day with a big run out near midfield before he's pushed out of bounds. A 25-yard carry from Gavin Day for the University of St. Francis. That is about the longest. Oh, no, we got a couple of longer pass plays in that.
Number 5, Gavin Day.
Actually, no, that would go down as the longest play of the game so far for St. Francis. The longest before that was 28 yards from Nate Mall to Hackman.
Saints in Indiana Wesleyan territory at the 48.
Mall again, one-on-one to Little. He's being held the entire way. There's the flag,
there
and he
it
still
is.
caught it. He was out of bounds, still with a one-handed catch. But the only thing that Wesleyan's defender can do is hold him. Just keep throwing it to Ryan Little. He is just working him.
And one of the coaches from Indiana Wesleyan saying to the field judge, really? And the field judge is like, he's.
On the play, both on the defense. Pass interference, defense number 34. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, defense number 55. This is number 55, first unsportsmanlike towards ejection.
That was number 55 is a lineman, so there must have been something going on after the
30,
pass was released.
It'll be 30 yards. You don't see back, usually it's one penalty that they'll run off, but we've seen it now twice today. Once against St. Francis and once for St. Francis of 30 yards in penalties.
1st and 10 for the Saints from the Wildcat 18.
Into the red zone for St. Francis.
And that might be the end of the day for Hathaway. You don't want to get another unsportsmanlike conduct penalty in a 58-17 game.
It's
so
sad that you don't trust a guy to not get their second unsportsmanlike penalty.
So
64 seconds to go in the third. Snap back to Mall. Give to Day. Looking for the left side. Could not turn the corner. Good. Well defended by Wesleyan. Time will continue to tick.
probably one more play here in the third quarter.
Gain of a yard on that play.
Two wide outs to the right. It's Little and Hackman.
It'll be 2nd and 9.
Yeah, these defensive backs have had their troubles with Ryan Little all afternoon.
Friddle motions to the middle and then back. Yo-yo motion, as Coach Sharp likes to call it. They're going to go to Little again. One-on-one into the end zone. Caught it! Touchdown! Touchdown, Saints. Ryan Little cannot be defended. He did push off a little bit on that play, I noticed. No flag, though, and a touchdown for Ryan Little from Nate Mall. The shining part of this game has been the running of Larry Stringham and Ryan Little being unguardable one-on-one.
And there's the touchdown we told you.
Uh-huh.
Said he didn't have a touchdown yet. Now he does. And I'll tell you what, that was almost pass interference defense again. And he maintained his composure, did Ryan Little, for the touchdown.
Hey, Ryan did his fair share of fighting there, too. Guerrero's extra point attempt is good, 58-24.
Adrian Guerrero's extra point good. Saints 24.
And one of the defensive coaches talking to the defensive back that's been guarding Ryan Little and saying, This is what you got to do, my man.
Yeah.
And that guy's probably saying, that ain't working either, Coach. This guy's good. This guy's really good. And Ryan Little is really good.
Ryan Little, 6 catches.
No,
They haven't added the latest couple plays here on our stat computer yet. I still got him as 6 and 109, so that's not correct yet. Yeah.
Yeah, he had what? 2.
It's about 2 minutes of game time behind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which a lot has happened in the last 2 minutes for St. Francis.
Montez Jones and Great Irwin back to
Jones and Irwin ready to return. Jones to the right, Irwin to the left, both standing inside the 10-yard line. Let's see if Guerrero tries to get fancy here or just boots it here in the final 21 seconds of the first quarter. He does, kicks it deep. Return will be from the 1. Here, cuts it up the hash, and here come the flags. Somebody got laid out. I think there's going to be a...
Kevin Frazier lost his helmet, and that's where the flag was at. See who was on the tackle, Nicholas?
Was it Adrian?
It was Adrian.
I was looking for the flag after I heard the entire crowd go, ooh. They're going to talk about that one, too.
13.7 seconds left here in this third quarter. 58-24. We have our updated stats, Nick. 7 receptions for 126 yards now for Ryan Little.
Long discussion about this penalty, too. And talk to Coach Curry about what he wants to do with it.
No, I think he's saying, foul. I think it's against St. Francis.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, you look at his body language, yeah.
And he's saying, my guy lost his helmet. And now the referee, after the referee talks to Coach Curry, then he goes back to his other 2 officials to have a further discussion. Now let's see.
Still talking about it here. Here's the official call.
Illegal participation, kicking team number 0. 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down, Indiana Wesleyan.
So they called it on Kevin Frazier, the player who lost his helmet. Illegal participation, Dave?
So I think what might have happened is on the kickoff, let's see where he's going to have to come out for a play, so we're not going to see him. I think probably what happened was that he was the far man on the man on the far sideline, which is our sideline, and he might have got pushed out of bounds. And then once you get pushed out of bounds, you cannot come back in and be involved in the play at all.
And 10 for the Wildcats
And
from the Saints, 49.
so I think that's what the call is. Now, he was not involved in the tackle at all, so that's why I'm a little bit confused.
And either way, Indiana Wesleyan starts with 14 seconds to go in the quarter at the St. 49, 51.
Whoa.
Nice run out to the 39-yard line. Pick up of 8. Yeah, he
the same
did.
Guy, right?
Yep, Brock Short. You got it.
He almost broke that one to the running to the left side instead of the right side like he did back in the about 3 minutes ago.
End of quarter number 3, 58-24. Saints do put a few touchdowns on the board. Gavin Day with a rushing touchdown and Ryan Little with a receiving touchdown. And it's really been the bright spot for St. Francis, watching Ryan Little operate on the edges one-on-one. Anytime that he's gotten the ball targeted to him and he's been one-on-one, he's come down with the catch.
We are going to look and see if that is a career high for Ryan Little.
He's got 7 catches for 126 and a touchdown. Isaac Smith, the leading receiver for Indiana Wesleyan, 7 catches, 150 and 2 touchdowns. Arjun Lothi, who actually hit the bench at the beginning of that third quarter, exited with a stat line of 19 out of 28 throwing, 355 and 3 touchdowns, and that's in pretty much just 3 or 2 quarters plus of work. The big one, a 59-yard strike to Braxton Myers. Leading rusher for Indiana Wesleyan is Cameron Morrison, 11 carries, 85 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Short got in on the touchdown scoring fun with a 54-yard touchdown a few minutes ago. Waiting for TV to let us know when they're ready to roll here to start our fourth quarter.
Yep, that is a career high in yardage. He had 93 yards against Taylor in week number 1. So a season high, a career high for Ryan Little.
I'm surprised. It's his first 100-yard game. Petty still the quarterback, Short the running back for Indiana Wesleyan here on 2nd down and 2. Starting our fourth quarter as they now go left to right. Tight end goes from right to left. Run to Short between the tackles.
There we go.
Bottled up, only 1-yard gain there. 3rd down and 1 coming up. Looks like one of the defensive linemen for St. Francis was able to stop him.
Marcelo Bernardi? Nope. Nico Friedrich.
Start line number 99, Nico Friedrich.
Yep, Nico Friedrich on the tackle. He's had a couple tackles today. Saints without a couple of linemen today, so Nico getting an opportunity and taking advantage of it.
Snap to Petty, give to the running back. I don't think that's Short. Looks like it's
Number
Aiden
6.
Ewing this time, and he needed 1 but picked up 5. First down for Indiana Wesleyan. The 26th first down of the game for the Wildcats.
And that's what they're averaging, right? I think.
Yep. They do lead the nation in first downs with 134 coming into today. Over 150 now. 3 wideouts to the right, 1 to the left. Play action again. Short pass again is caught. The tight end up to the 25-yard line, and that should be enough for a first down.
Yeah, and that one you have to have better coverage. You know, there have been a couple slant patterns that the Saints haven't had the coverage, but that time the inside receiver was standing there, and there was no Saint there, and you got to get there. You just have to get there.
First down.
$13-14 to go in our ball game today. It's all Indiana Wesleyan. Again, that tight end screen, some great blocking, but nice one-on-one tackle by Hackman to bring him down after a gain of about 5.
Yeah, and that's what makes that play so successful when you have 3 different wide receivers out there that time, 1 actually a tight end, and you got 2 of them blocking, and all you have to do is block those 2 other defenders, and you got a one-on-one. You pick up about 7 yards on that particular play. Nice execution that time by the Wildcats.
Petty in that pistol again. Ewing behind him. They give to Ewing. Right side squeaks through, and it's going to be another Wildcat touchdown. The touchdown party just ain't stopping.
Yeah, just breakdowns defensively. You got to make those stops, and the Saints in each of their last 2 defensive series, actually 2 out of the last 3, allowing that runner to get through like that, you just can't have it. $40-point difference right now, Nick. 64-24. Extra point attempt here. Jack Doty, kick is up, and it is through. 12:24 left to play in the contest. It is all the number 16 ranked team in the nation, the Wildcats of Indiana Wesleyan. They lead at 65-24.
Like you said, some other Saints action going on pretty much all around the Midwest today, right? Some in Joliet and
some in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. The men's cross country team earlier this afternoon, a strong, very strong performance at the Mount Mercy Seminole Valley Stampede. They finished 4th out of 23 teams. The women placed 10th out of 17. In women's volleyball, the Saints dropped a 3-0 decision to Stevens College out of Missouri. Now facing Goshen College, Indiana, and the Saints up 2-0 in that second contest. They had come into this weekend having won 5 in a row. Yep, they won the first game 25-13 against Goshen, 25-19 in the second game, and are leading 18-16 in the third. On the women's soccer front, out at Joliet Memorial Stadium, where we will be in 2 weeks, Saints lead Mount Mary University 2-0, 38 minutes into the first half. And right here, again, Indiana Wesleyan 65, St. Francis 24.
Here is the kickoff from Jack Doty. Sends Carl Bew back to the goal line. Here he comes again. Can you do another 100-yard return? Not this time. Goes 17 yards. .12:18 to go in the ball game.
Second week in a row, a long game. Usually these games are about under the 3-hour mark, but today and last week, a lot of points on the board means a lot of stoppages of play.
Yeah.
It'll be 1st and 10 for the Saints from their own 18.
Here comes Johnny Sorensen at quarterback.
Might see him the rest of the game, Nick.
We haven't seen Sorensen throw a pass yet, I believe, this year. Every time he's come in, he's either handed it off or run with it. See
Carl
if they let
Bew
him
in the background with him.
They give to Carl. Cuts it back up the hash, reversing field. Here come the Wildcats, well defended. No gain, maybe one there for Carl.
Head off number 1.
At least he didn't go backwards. Sometimes you see a runner try to get to the edge. He gets cut off, tries to reverse field, gets cut off, and tries to make more of it than he can. But smartly, he just took what he could get and went down.
And Bew comes off the field. Gavin Day checks back in along with Nathan Mall.
Oh, yeah.
They're all right gathered there. A lot of offensive specialty players gathered right by Matt McCarthy, the offensive coordinator, as they change formations and lineups and personnel a lot. 2
defenders on Ryan Little, as this one's a handoff inside. That one's only there for 2. It's kind of funny watching the game between Ryan Little and the DBs. They got somebody who's pretty much the cornerback will turn his body and face the sideline to keep Ryan from cutting inside, and then the safety will come down and cover over the top. Yeah, one-on-one with Engstrom in the slot, but 2 DBs covering Ryan Little wide left. A new running back?
No, that's Gavin Day.
Oh. Here's Nate Mall, steps up in the pocket, lets it go, goes to Little again, double covered, still able to beat his guys and hang on. He gave a Michael Jordan shrug. He's like, you're gonna keep passing me the ball, I'll keep making catches. So that guy who I was telling you about, who turned his body facing the sideline, making sure Little wouldn't cut inside, didn't do his job that time.
Shame on him. Now we're gonna go 3 wide receivers to the near sideline.
Now you got to go one-on-one. Corners are off, 2 safeties deep. They're going to rush 4, 3 linebackers. Here's Mall looking left, nothing there. Checks it down to Day right. Here comes a flag. Day takes it to about the 45-yard line, picks up 6. We'll check the flag.
Back.
Of course it is. Another holding penalty. We're going to get Matt Alston again, not his first one today. Big gain wiped off because of a penalty. That is the 11th penalty for over 100 yards for St. Francis today. St. Francis had 10 penalties for 115 yards last week. Under 10 minutes to go here in the game. The give to Stringham, rolling, spinning up to the 35. He picks up 6 yards. It's going to be 2nd and 14.
Yeah, Larry, 5'11", 210.
It was tackled by number 26, Terrence Wilson. As well as
Stringham behind Maul. Friddle, the tight end. I don't think he's been targeted yet, has he? Jake Friddle?
A couple times.
Going long again, going to Bew. He's double covered, nearly intercepted. That's a tough pass to even throw.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, the Saints were fortunate. They did get that one intercepted. Saints have not turned over the ball yet today, correct?
They did have a fumble, but they recovered it.
That was it, right?
Number 4, Cameron Morrison.
Well, no,
I'm
Nate
sorry,
Maul's got 2 interceptions.
Yeah. It's been a long game.
Well, you try to forget the bad and remember the good, so I get that. 3 wide receivers right, 1 left. They're going to throw. Nate Maul launching it again, looking for Hackman. He went up and got it at the 39-yard line. Another big play for St. Francis, about 20 yards.
Yeah, that defender for Indiana Wesleyan, Kalik Holland, he's just 5'10", and he's going up against Ryan Little
and I think they
Mason
switched.
Hackman.
I think they switched corners. They put the taller corner on Ryan Little, but now that's leaving Hackman with the shorter cornerback. And we'll see if they go Hackman's way now. And look at the space they're giving Ryan Little. They're giving him about 8 yards. Cornerbacks are off, safeties are deep. Here on 1st down for St. Francis. Nate running, throwing it out of bounds, incomplete.
Good job.
8.5 to go in the game, 65-24. Arjun Lothi and his offense were impeccable today. Surgeon-like precision.
Yeah, 209 quarterback rating. He completed 19 of 28 passes. Came in with about a 55% completion rate.
Right, which isn't great, right?
Right. And I was interested to see, okay, he's got a lot of passing yards. He throws for a lot of yards. They get the ball off quickly, so there's a lot of offensive plays. But today, 68% completion rate, 355 yards, and the 3 touchdown passes.
Play action. They're going to go one-on-one to Bew. Back shoulder caught up the sideline and another 1st down. They keep picking on Kalik Holland over there, the 5'10 cornerback, and another 1st down to the 20-yard line. Another 20-yard play.
And he's listed as number 2 on the depth chart.
For a Saint 1st down. 1st and 10 from the Wildcat 20.
Saints up to 354 yards of offense, but Indiana Wesleyan with just over 600, 602 to be exact.
Here's Gavin Day dancing behind the line and not much room there, able to sneak about 3 yards out of that. 2nd down and 7. Marion, Indiana, about just 10 over 3 hours from Joliet.
A lot cheaper gas.
It's true. Off the field goes Kevin Holland. He got 1 play as Ryan Little got, I think, some equipment checked out, and he's back into the game. Thank you for your service, Kevin. 2 wideouts left, 1 right. Friddle motions to the left side of the line. Run pass option they give to Day, reversing field, and he's bottled up. No gain there. 3rd down. Where's Larry Stringham? Is he okay? Give Larry the ball. Just a tick under 7 minutes to go now. 3rd down and 6 for St. Francis inside the red zone. They've been pretty good in the red zone. 14 out of 16. 12 of them touchdowns. Here's Nate, going to go one-on-one again. Tried to sneak through, and linebackers come up and rip him down, rip off his helmet.
Yeah.
And there comes a flag behind the defense. Is that going to be the penalty?
I think it might be. The Saints will probably get a first down out of
Yes,
this.
if it's a 10-yard penalty, they sure will.
Probably be a 15-yard penalty, and Maul will have to come out for a play.
Even if they rip it off your head?
Personal foul. Defense number 94. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic
Well, they
first
didn't
down.
explain it, but they.
Ball's helmet came off due to the foul.
No.
They remain in the game.
That's what I thought. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. The penalty was just the defender just took his helmet. He wasn't trying to tackle him. He just ripped his helmet off.
Tackle was made on the play by number
And
4.
kind of Nate Mall a bit shaken up by that. He's kind of shaking his head a little bit, getting his bearings back. But first and goal for St. Francis at the 8.
First and goal for the Saints. From the
There's your boy, Larry.
Back in the ball game. Give it to 30.
You call it.
Friddle right of the line. 2 wide receivers left. Give to Larry. Go behind his blockers. Ooh. Shoestring tackle from behind.
Head off to number 30, Larry Stringham.
Stringham takes it to the 5, second and goal.
Nice job by that defensive lineman to come from behind and
Tackled by
pull
number
Larry down
43,
after about
Wheeler.
a 3 or 4 yard pickup. Thought
Stringham.
Larry might get into the end zone there.
Stringham will go out. Gavin Day comes back in. They give to Gavin, bouncing left, now back right, gets it down to the 3-yard line. Another St. helmet came off. Looks like Ryan Urisic's lid, and he will have to go out for a play.
Helmet off.
It'll be 3rd and goal from the 3 now.
Coming back in is Johnny Sorensen.
I still
Well,
don't.
Sorensen came in, then came out, and is that Kevin Leonard that has checked back in? No, Connor
Engstrom, yep.
Engstrom, yep.
I still. I don't, unless Larry Stringham is just really tired, how do you not give it to him from 3 yards? Gavin Day's in there. He can do the job too, but they're going to try to throw it in this time.
Run it, run it, run it.
Tucks it in, shoulder down. Nate Mulls into the end zone for a St. Francis score, 65-30.
Nathan Mall with the quarterback keeper into the end zone.
Nice job by Nate to recognize he had that opportunity, and he takes advantage of it. Here comes Guerrero for the extra point. Opponents were scoring 28 points per game against Indiana Wesleyan, and they're right at it again this time. And I guess looking at how this game goes, you wonder how many of those 28.3 points a game came out against their first-string defense.
Yeah, really?
Extra points good from Adrian. It's 65-31. 5 minutes to go here in this ball game.
Saints 31, Wildcats 65.
Again, looking ahead on the schedule for St. Francis. Bye week next week, so enjoy your week off. And then it's Midwest play after that. St. Xavier will come to Joliet on the 18th. St. Francis heads up the highway to Judson on October 25th. That's the game before Halloween. And then they start off November back here in Indiana at Marion. Not in Marion, but at Marion.
Marion with an A
Correct.
instead of Marion with an O.
And then last home game of the season will be hosting their St. Francis counterparts, St. Francis, Indiana, on November 8th. They're in action right now against Taylor and actually lead Taylor. Cougars on top of that one, 28-21 over the Trojans.
I really do like the way the schedule plays out. We talked about it on the ride over here. But, to get all your crossover games out of the way, play the 5 games. By that time, obviously, you know what you have, minus, if guys go down with injury. But then you have like a week off. You get a chance to reset, and here comes the league season.
Guerrero, soft kick, angled right. One of the upbacks will come up and take it from the 16-yard line. Cuts it back up the middle of the field, sneaks through with a nice spin move to the 36-yard line. Nicely done. on the return.
And Adrian Guerrero with his third
Jeez.
tackle on special teams today.
36, it'll be first and 10 for the Wildcats.
Well, they're not giving him credit for it if that's the case. They only got Adrian Guerrero for one. I'm not sure.
Well, they probably haven't marked this one yet. The other one there were a bunch of guys there. He was right around there. That was the one when Frazier got the penalty.
So we'll give it to him, even though if he might not get it
For
technically.
sure.
Run on first down.
Yeah, the Saints got to wrap things up, make sure those linebackers get to where they need to get on the run plays, because we've seen the last two scores, right, for Indiana Wesleyan have been both on the ground, and they've just been simple plays. One was off right guard, the other one was off left guard and into the end zone for major points and major distances.
Throwing, and they found his receiver at the 44, spinning down to the 50. I thought that was going to be intercepted, but complete out to 83, who's not on my roster.
Will
Thank you.
Brandow almost had the interception there. He got in front of the ball, but quarterback threw right over his arms. He's upset. You can see that. He pounded his fist with his right hand into his left hand, saying, I should have had that ball. 3:42 left to play.
Four wide receivers at the 49-yard line. First down for Indiana Wesleyan. On the ground again. Tough run, but a better tackle there at the St. Francis 49. Coming up to make that play for St. Francis, Will Brandow again.
Yeah, Brandow there, and I believe Matthew Source there as well. A couple guys getting some opportunities here late in the contest. You know, when a team's up by 34 points, they should just eliminate the 2-minute warning.
Yeah, right.
I don't think it's going to make a difference.
3 wideouts left. One is tight right. On the ground again to Fullingham. He'll bull his way down to the 47-yard line. That's only 1 yard. Third down coming up for the Wildcats.
Source again on the tackle. 6'3", 235-pound redshirt freshman from just up the road, South Bend, probably 45 minutes from here. Nice contingent of Saints fans made the trip this afternoon. Probably about
300?
No, not that. About 80. If you look at all the people on the berms.
Third down and 6 for IWU. Quick wide receiver screen again. Again, great blocking, but Nate Shute there to fight around his block and make the tackle. 1 yard there, fourth down.
That's one of the most amazing things. I've never seen this. I don't know if you have. Being at a stadium, I've never seen AstroTurfed berms.
No, but there's a baseball field in Joliet. I hope would consider it. I haven't. I'm in love with the facilities they have here. They probably actually about time for a new surface, but the berms are turfed. It actually is kind of like a little mini bowl that the field sits in, with probably about 10 or 15 rows of seats, and then an aisleway, and then another 20, 25 rows of bleachers, up to a really nice press box that we get to take advantage of. And off one end zone, you have kind of like a patio. Off the other end zone, you have some suites and some athletic facilities. Just a really nice job they've done out here. Of course, the head coach here, Andrew Rode, his third year, 24-6. He's been here for 3 years, and he's won the Mideast Championship all 3 years.
Actually, 2 years.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, this is his third year.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. So, yeah, they won championship before he took over as head coach. Thank you very much. Came from Morningside. Pretty good winning program over there. Was the offensive coordinator for a few years.
Was the offensive coordinator when they won the national championship in 2021, and then previous to that, for I believe about at least 3 years, maybe 5, he was at Concordia University, Michigan.
Yep. So NAIA guy and getting his chance at leading a really good team here with some really great backing and support from the university and community. ESPN timeout here at the 2-minute warning. A solid marching band giving us a good soundtrack to the game today. Punt unit on for Indiana Wesleyan. Connor Engstrom will go back to return. Just the second punt, I believe, of the game. Yep. Good snap. Kicks away. Nice spiral. Will bounce at the goal line. And
get in there.
I don't know if it touched the end zone. It didn't. They're going to mark it at the 1-yard line. You don't get better than that.
It never. They touched it, but it never, they never downed it. It went into the end zone.
So the question, does it need to touch or just cross the line? Because if it needs to touch, I don't think it actually touched the ground. But either way, St. Francis is going to have it at the 1-inch line. They actually had to move the football just a little bit so it wasn't touching the goal line. You got to give credit to the punter on that play. He put it right on the 1-yard line and it bounced backward, and the Gunners were able to get there just in time. So,
and Nathan Mall's just going to have to do a quarterback sneak here, I think. Yep.
Gonna try a little push, nice push from behind.
Oh, there
little
we go.
tush push, got about 6 yards there from Mr.
For
Nate
sure.
Mall.
Nice, very nice.
Hey, you can use that. Hey, put that in your back pocket.
It was a 5-yard pickup.
1:30 to play in the ball game.
All right, 2 more plays. Think the Saints will run it or pass it? I'm saying stick with the run.
Yeah. Nope. Throwing to the outside, Ryan Little with another catch. That'll be about 5 yards or so. 9th reception of the game for Ryan Little.
May have one more play here, unless the clock stops for an incompletion.
Under a minute. String him behind Mall. They're going to give to Larry here in what will probably be the final game. Look at Larry run. Love to see it for the first down. It will stop the clock momentarily.
Yeah, one more play.
Yeah. Now they'll start the clock again. Throw it to Ryan Little. He's got the short receiver. He's got the short cornerback on him, and Cleek Holland. Oh, now he's going to get some linebacker help. Oh, he's wide open. They do get it off. He was being hit as he was thrown, and it's going to go down as an interception at midfield.
See.
And the return is on, and he might be able to take it.
Yep. Get out of bounds.
Finally pushed out of bounds there with 13 seconds left to go, and they're going to kneel it down. That should be the end of it there. Nate Mall just a little bit late recognizing it, and as he tried to throw it, he was getting hit, and the ball kind of floated away on him to lead to the 3rd interception of the game for Nate.
Yeah, that not a pass that you want to throw there. I know you're trying to make something happen, but when you're down by 34 points, it's best to either just run the ball or you got to make a good throw. And he was off balance and just throwing it up in the air that time and led to the 3rd interception.
Isaiah Petty will put his knee in the turf, and the final 12 seconds will tick off the clock. Your final 65-31 here in Marion, Indiana. Handshake line will go down the 50, and we'll take a look at some of the numbers for Indiana Wesleyan. Arjun Lothe, an amazing day. 19 for 28, 355, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, and again, no sacks allowed by this Indiana Wesleyan offensive line. Pretty impressive so far this year, going 5 games now without allowing a sack. And that's against some very good defenders as well, in Kaiser and Marion. So probably my most impressive stat from Indiana Wesleyan. Cameron Morrison, their leading rusher, 11 carries, 85 yards, and 3 touchdowns. They had a host of pass catchers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 players caught a pass in the game. No more than Isaac Smith, though. 7 catches, 150 yards, and 2 touchdowns. For St. Francis, Nate Mall, 16 for 34, 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, was sacked 3 times. Larry Stringham led the ground game, 12 carries, 52 yards. No touchdowns from him, but Gavin Day found the end zone, as did Nate Mall, and a quarterback keeper. Catching the football, Ryan Little led the way with a career day, breaking his single-game record of 148 yards. Probably a receptions record as well, with 9 catches today for Ryan, including a touchdown. Mason Hackman had 3 catches today, including the game's first score, a 28-yard touchdown he made on his knees. Carl Bew, Ryan Yersich, and Connor Engstrom all had a catch today as well. 620 total yards by Indiana Wesleyan today. Not too bad for St. Francis, though. 402 total yards offensively. A lot of that coming, though, in the second half against the second unit defense for Indiana Wesleyan. That was on 73 plays. Biggest issue, though, 10 penalties for 18 yards. And, of course, turnovers in that game. St. Francis had the ball for 48 minutes. That means Indiana Wesleyan did all that damage in just 25 minutes of possession. That's pretty incredible.
Absolutely. And all you can say is, this is the end of the crossover season. You got a week off, time to regroup, and now it's time to, go into Midwest League action. You're 0-0.
Then you never know. Yep. St. Xavier can be had this year. They're a down year considering, respective to how they usually come out. But, of course, you're going to have to contend with Marion and St. Francis, the 2 big dogs in the Midwest. So, if anything, you learned something from today. You go back, watch a little tape, see what you did right. Keep doing that more. Find out how you can fix it and get into that league play where it really, really matters. But this Indiana Wesleyan team, very, very good. They're going to be in the discussion for a national championship. There's no doubt about it. So we'll see how it all shakes out. But St. Francis today falls to 2-3. Indiana Wesleyan goes to 4-2. Again, bye week for St. Francis next week. They're back at home against St. Xavier on the 18th. For Indiana Wesleyan, they take on Madonna on the road next week. Then it's Defiance, Taylor, Lawrence Tech, and Siena Heights. So a nice road ahead for Indiana Wesleyan to try to make their way into the playoffs, which you would think that they would be the Mid-East representatives, I'm sure, again. That's going to do it for Dave and I out here in Marion, Indiana. Again, your final score, Saints fall 65-31. Have a great rest of your weekend.